Hey!
Hi, how are you?
Hello.
Hey, Paul, you horse through a shoe or something?
Your father let me win that one.
Oh, I did not.
We just about got the fence finished.
You boys have done so much for me since I returned. Seems like I'm always saying thank you.
Ma'am, our pleasure.
Hey, listen, we don't stop talking around here, we'll never get it done.
Did a good job, boys.
They're wonderful, Ben. I wish I could repay you.
Well, you could if you'd have dinner with us tonight.
Oh, Ben,
It's been a long time, Catherine. Too long.
how can I say no? But I'll have to stop by my house and change first.
Oh. Well, we'll take the buckboard back, then we'll have the boys bring the horses.
Right.
Let's not be late for dinner, boys. Mr. Saunders is joining us.
Paul, how many times do you ever remember us being late for dinner?
Bring the other horses.
Hoss, I think you better get your blue suit out of mothballs and make sure it still fits.
Why? Who died?
Nobody.
I don't ever wear that blue suit except funerals and the weddings. Weddings? You reckon?
I wouldn't be a bit surprised.
Water is so blue, so serene. It makes me think how small we really are.
Yeah, even makes our troubles kind of small, too, doesn't it? I'm glad you came back, Catherine.
I thought maybe if I opened up the ranch, Eden would come back.
That's been over 3 years now, hasn't it? Since the trial. He shouldn't have run off like that. He was acquitted.
Oh, by the jury, but he never believed that anyone around here thought he was really innocent. Not even his father.
Yet Charles drove himself into ill health over that trial.
I know. But I still love my son. Want him back. Believe in him. Is that so wrong, Ben?
I think it's kind of hard to judge the right or wrong of love.
Thank you, Ben. Oh, I can't tell you what it means having you as a friend.
Well, then why didn't you come to me sooner as a friend?
I wanted to, Ben. You'll never know how much. After Charles died and Eden left, my whole world collapsed.
And now?
I don't know, Ben.
Well, Catherine, if I can help in any way.
Oh, Ben, you have. You have. We'd better get going.
Yeah. Yeah.
Missy Catherine,
Hopsing, how wonderful to see you.
forgive me. Hopsing overwhelmed with happiness.
Oh, how I've missed all of you.
House cold and silent until this very moment.
Hopsing, I want you to prepare a very special dinner for a very special guest.
For Missy Catherine, Hopsing prepared dinner make banquet look like picnic lunch. You see.
This dependable old desk. I always loved this desk. Your house hasn't changed over the years, Ben. It's still beautiful.
So much more beautiful. So much more alive with you here. This house just needs a woman's touch.
Oh, Ben, this is probably the best-run household in all Nevada. You don't need a woman to help you.
That's not true.
You've done such a fine job of raising your sons.
Oh, well, they've missed not having a mother.
Why haven't you married again, Ben?
Well, there's just no one I wanted to ask. What about you?
Same reason, I guess. No, that isn't completely true. I've had Eden so completely on my mind. I haven't been able to think of anything else. And since I've come back, Oh, Ben, why do people still say such horrible things about him?
You know, people talk.
He was acquitted of that killing. Why can't they leave him alone? They haven't even seen him in 3 years.
Well, you know, people like to gossip. The stories come back.
Stories, lies.
Catherine. You can't go on forever building your whole existence around Eden. He's living his life, and you must live your life.
I'm the only one that ever understood or protected him. Charles was always disappointed in him.
Catherine, Charles is dead. Eden's gone. You're here. I'm here.
You have your sons. I'm alone.
You're alone because you want to be alone. You're living in the past. One of these days, my boys are going to be gone. They're going to be off on their own, building their own life, their own future. That doesn't mean my life is going to end. And I hope I won't be alone. Haven't the last few days meant anything to you?
Ben, you don't know how much. For the first time in so long, I felt alive and happy. Laughing with you and the boys. I've been blind, haven't I? To you, to me. Oh, Ben, hold me. I don't want to be alone anymore. That's magnificent.
Thank you, Missy Catherine.
If that ain't the dead burnedest thing I ever seen, what's a man supposed to do with that, Hop Sing? Eat it or stick it in the fireplace?
Well, I'm going to serve it. I'm sure sorry Adam isn't here yet. I thought he'd be back from town by now.
Maybe a little trouble with that load of timber.
Doggone, that looks good.
Chinese brandy. Make angry man smile, happy man grin.
I'm laughing all over, Hop Sing.
That must be Adam.
Catherine.
Adam, how good to see you.
Good to see you. I'd forgotten how lovely you looked at our table. Sit down, sit down.
Hop Sing, get some food for Adam.
Never mind. I'm not hungry. I ate before I left town.
Well, at least have some wine. What kept you so late?
Oh, just some difficulty. We can talk about it later. Thank you. Well, here's to my favorite lady.
Thank you, Adam.
Well, we'll all drink to that.
Right.
Now that we're all together, there's something that there's something that Catherine and I would like to tell you. Catherine and I have decided...
What'd I tell you, Joe?
What do you mean, what did you tell me? What did I tell you?
Oh, wait a minute, I haven't finished telling you anything yet.
Oh, everybody in the county, besides my mule and the fence post, knew that you and Catherine was going to get married, and I'm going to be the first one to kiss her.
Congratulations.
Congratulations, Mr. Conroy.
Thank you. Thank you.
My congratulations to you both.
Happy for
Thank you,
you.
Adam. Thank you.
Oh, could I see you, man?
Yeah, sure.
We're just talking about it after fence today. The way Clark and his face.
You know when you come right now?
What is it?
Eden's back. They say he killed a woman. They got a posse out looking for him now. He got back sometime yesterday, and he spent most of the day drinking in the Silver Dollar and telling a lot of people what he was going to do to Frank Miller for marrying his girl. You remember her, Linda Holmes?
Yes.
Frank wasn't around. He's been in San Francisco all week. Linda was home alone. Well, Miller's brother Carl found her body this morning. He's got the town all riled up, and they're out looking for blood.
What's Sheriff Coffey doing?
He was out of town. I sent for him.
We're going to have to tell Catherine.
I know. I think we should be in that posse.
You get a horse saddled up, and I'll send the boys out after you.
What's taking Pa so long?
I imagine it's a little difficult to tell the woman you love that her son is a murderer.
Yeah, I guess so.
Adam, you don't think he really did it, do you?
If we believed everything's been said about him, he'd have been dead a long time ago.
I don't know. Miller said he saw somebody riding off that looked like Eden. He took a shot at him.
Carl Miller, I wouldn't trust his word as far as I could fill one of these horses.
I just wish Pa wouldn't take so long. I'd hate to think what had happened if that posse found him and we weren't there.
Also, you wait for Pa. Joe and I are going to ride on ahead.
Right.
It isn't true. I know it isn't true. I don't care what they say about him. I know he didn't kill that girl.
Catherine, it's just impossible to be that certain.
Ben, you don't think...
I don't think anything. I just don't want you to be hurt.
If that posse finds him, what'll they do?
Well, it's hard to say. Adam says that some men in town are pretty riled up.
Then he needs our help. Oh, Ben, we've got to find him first. We've got to find him.
Of course. I'll find Eden.
I'm going with you.
Oh, you stay here. It's not a woman's work. It's too dangerous.
Ben, when you find him, what will you do?
I'll see to it that no harm comes to him. I can't promise any more.
Now, what do you think of that? Your wolf cub's lost his teeth. Well, look at here. If it isn't big old Ben Cartwright himself. Oh, by the way, Ben, I found your boy's gun. He can't be too far. You know, I'm a little surprised to see you out here, Ben. I sort of figured you'd be busy holding the widow's hand. But then I suppose she figures her young wolf pup's innocent, huh? Too bad we know different, ain't it?
We had enough trouble as it is, Miller, without you stirring up any more.
I didn't stir up any trouble. But I sure aim to see it's finished.
You face a jury, not a lynch mob.
Yeah? Well, I figure it's all according to which one of us finds him first. All right, boys, spread out. He must be around here somewhere.
The other side of the boy?
No, but Miller's right. He can't have gotten very far. He's on foot.
On foot?
Yeah, we found his horse a while back, pulled up lame.
Well, always keep an eye on Miller. He'll turn this into a lynching party if he can.
Where you going, Paul?
I go back to Ponderosa. Catherine was awfully upset at the news. I don't want to leave her alone.
Got right. They say you used to treat Eden like one of your own sons. So you know him pretty well. This about the right neck size? Just right, huh?
Like I said, keep an eye on Miller.
Oh, Eden. Oh, my son, my son.
Oh, Mom. You.
Oh, my baby.
Is there anyone with you?
Oh, it's all right now. You're safe now.
I'm never safe.
But you are. Ben will be here soon. He's out looking for you now.
Yeah, him and half the rest of the country. I guess I couldn't expect anything else. They never did give me a chance around here. Why should it be any different now?
You don't understand. Ben's trying to help us. You can trust him.
I can't trust anybody.
Not even me, Eden.
Oh, I didn't mean you. I trust you, Mom.
And I trust Ben. With all my heart. Oh, Ben.
You all right, Catherine?
Of course. Ben, we found him. My son is safe.
It's been a long time, Mr. Cartwright. You don't need that gun.
We better get inside the house.
Oh, yes, you must be starved.
I am. I haven't eaten in 2 days.
I have to get you fed. Ben, everything's going to be all right now, isn't it?
Yeah, everything's going to be fine. off, sing, rustle up some food.
Oh, Ben, don't bother him. I'll fix it. I want to.
Well, might be a good idea. I'll have him stand guard outside.
Let me look at you here in the light. Oh, you look so tired. Poor baby.
Mom, I'm a grown man.
Of course you are. And a fine, handsome one. But a dirty one.
Mom, you don't think that I...
No, of course not. You go along now and get cleaned up. While I fix you something to eat. Go in there. Take that off.
And from there, I went to Texas. Now, there's a rough country, Texas. You can ride all day and never reach a horizon. I mean, it's a big, wide open country with dust and heat and snakes and tough men. It's a man's country.
How long were you there?
Oh, about a year, I guess. I worked on a big cattle ranch. About twice the size of the Ponderosa. I mean, a really big ranch. Must have covered 100 miles, maybe more.
What'd you do in this ranch?
Oh, I worked as a cowhand for a while. The owner, Mr. Williams, he wanted to make me foreman, but I had the old wanderlust. He begged me to stay, but, you know, I still have the prettiest mom in the whole world. Don't you think so, Mr. Cartwright?
Yes.
Do you want some more potatoes, son?
No, I'm full up to here, but I would like some more coffee.
I'll fix it for you.
Eden, what happened at Linda Miller's?
Would you believe me?
I want to help you.
Why? Because of Mom?
Yes, because of your mother, and because of you, if you're innocent.
You think I'm not?
I didn't say that. I don't know. You haven't told us anything. All I know is that you threatened Frank Miller.
Oh, people are always making a big thing out of nothing. Sure, I was sore at Frank for marrying my girl. Who wouldn't be? And I was sore at her, too. I went over to her house to tell her what I thought of her. But when I got there, she was dead.
Well, why did you run away when Carl Miller saw you? Why didn't you just stay and tell him the truth?
Because they'd blame me. You know how it is. You get a little reputation, and pretty soon everything that happens, they blame on you.
I've never believed anything they said. Not for a minute. Neither has Ben.
In that case, how about you two figuring a way for me to get out of here? Just until all this thing is cleared up.
That's just what we plan to do. Isn't it, Ben?
Mr. Cartwright, I hear horses. Many, many horses.
Get outside and keep watch.
Yes, Mr. Cartwright.
You've got to give me a gun.
You'll get your chance to have a gun.
I've got a right to defend myself.
Now be quiet. When do we get to the stable to saddle our horses? We'll have to go on foot. We'll go the back way. Look, I'm going to take them up to that place on the lake by the mill. As soon as you get a chance, bring us food and horses. Come on. Hurry up.
There's fresh horses in the corral if you need them. You're saddled up, we'll move out.
Hey, Cartwright. Where's your old man?
Hunting for Sanders like the rest of us. If you want him, go find him.
Well, what makes you so sure he's out hunting that killer? You ask me, it's more than likely he's covering up the kid's tracks.
Well, if you think he's hiding around here, go look for him.
You Cartwrights are all alike. You Cartwrights are all in this together. Saunders was your friend. Your friend killed my brother's wife. You're not trying to catch him. You're out to help him escape.
You're a liar.
Am I? Where's your pa? Why ain't he here? Where's he been while we've been out busting our backs in the brush? I'll tell you what I think. I think he's got that dirty little killer hid out somewhere.
You keep your mouth shut.
No. Yeah? Ask her. Go on. Ask her where your pa's got that boy hid out. Everybody knows he's sweet on her.
Where's he hiding, Catherine?
Oh, Adam. He's with your father. Oh, Adam, you've got to help us. You've got to lead that posse away from the lake.
Oh, that's where they are, huh?
Yes, by the old mill. Where we had that picnic a long time ago. Do you remember?
Yes, I remember. What's Pa gonna do?
I don't know. All I know is that they're afoot, and I've got to bring the horses as soon as I can. But you must give them time. Can you do that, Adam?
I don't know, Catherine. Those men out there in a mean mood. And a day and a night on a trail that's suddenly gone cold hasn't improved their disposition any.
The men will listen to you, won't they?
I hope so. For your sake.
Well, did she tell you where she hid that murdering son of hers? All right, let's go. You're still telling us what to do, Cartwright.
Well, are you going to stand around and listen to him shoot his mouth off, or are we going to get this dirty work done so we can go home and get some sleep?
Where are we going, Adam?
Back to the river.
Now, wait a minute. We're moving up to the lake.
I think we'll have a better chance of picking his tracks up back at the river.
We covered every inch of it.
Look, that's where his horse went lame, and that's where we found his gun. Now, we've had men in that area all day. He couldn't have gotten out of there without us seeing him. He's got to be hiding out in the bushes somewhere. He couldn't have got through us.
Who do you think is the boss of this posse?
I am, Mr. Miller. Now, just what do you men think you're doing, taking the law into your own hands, running around like a lynch mob?
We've been looking for that woman killer.
That's right, Sheriff. What have you been doing?
I've been doing my job, and I've been doing it proper. I've been making up a warrant, looking up witnesses. That's how coming to find out what you was up to, Mr. Miller.
Well, we're not going to wait around for that legal stuff.
Now, that's just what you are going to do, or wait in a jail cell 1. From now on, this is a legally constituted posse. You understand?
What's the difference, just so we get that killer? Look, Sheriff, I've got a plan.
Yeah, I know. I heard it. And I heard Adams, too. We're going to have another look along that river. Then we'll go up the lake if needs be. Now, if you want to join this posse, you just go over there and get up on your horse.
She's not coming. Did you hear me? I said she's not coming.
She'll come.
But suppose something happened. We haven't got a chance on foot.
That's right. We haven't. So, worrying isn't going to help any, is it?
I'm sorry, Mr. Cartwright. I guess I'm just a little nervous. I never did like running very much. Mr. Cartwright? Do you remember when we were little kids, Joe and me? And you used to bring us up here hunting? And sometimes at night, we'd sit around and talk things over.
Yeah, I remember.
I could always talk to you, even when I couldn't talk to my pa. I guess he figured I was no good. Am I as bad as he figured?
I don't believe you. Your pa figured you for being bad. It's just that he found it hard to understand you.
Understand me? I never could do anything right for him, not once. Sure, I made mistakes, but what kid doesn't? The only one who cared, I mean who really cared, was Mom. Why didn't he ever give me a chance, Mr. Cartwright?
Well, Eden, I think he gave you a chance. I think he gave you every chance that a father can give a son. Until your credit ran out.
You mean that shooting? It was self-defense. I was acquitted. It was him that taught me a man has a right to defend himself. So what's so different about me? Look, how do you know it wasn't Carl Miller killed Linda? He wanted to marry her too, even before his brother did. Why is everybody so sure I did it?
It's going to be up to a judge and a jury to decide who did it.
I loved her. All my life, I loved that girl. Do you think I could kill someone I loved?
Eden, do you know what love really means?
I had trouble getting through. They had men everywhere, even around my
Then
house.
we're trapped.
No, the east road is clear. Adams kept the posse down by the river. They won't be here for a while yet.
We better start out right now.
Wait a minute. There's no use you getting further involved, Mr. Cartwright. I'll make it alone. And having Ma along would just slow me down. Let me have a gun, and I'll be on my way.
I'm taking you to Fort Churchill.
Fort Churchill? What for?
You'll be safe there, Catherine, until we can arrange a trial in Virginia City. Now get on your horse, boy.
A trial? What kind of a trial would I get? They'd as soon hang me as look at me. You know that. Give me a chance, Mr. Cartwright.
I'm giving you a chance, Eden. The only chance I can give you.
Ben, we know he's innocent.
And they'll have a chance to prove it.
I'll never see a courtroom. They'll tear down the jail to get at me. You saw them.
They won't tear down an army stockade. You'll be safe there. Now get on your horse. Both of you. With luck, we'll be able to make Fort Churchill by daybreak.
Mom, talk some sense into him. He's as good as put a rope around my neck.
No, he's right. Don't you see, Eden? After the trial, when your name is clear, we'll be able to start a new life with no more running away.
All right. But I still think I won't have a chance at any trial.
Let's get moving.
Let's ride out of here, Carl. We're wasting our time.
No. It's not wasted yet.
I still don't see why we had to leave the posse. Supposing they find that kid down by the river like Cartwright figured.
You mean you swallowed all that?
Sure.
You're even dumber than I thought you were.
Who you calling dumb?
No. You? Look there.
down off your horses. Move. Throw your gun away, Ben. You ride back down the trail and fetch the posse. All right, kid. Move away. I said move away!
Ben, he'll kill him.
You want to try me now, Ben?
You killed her. Why don't you admit it? It was him that done it. I know it.
Shut up, you dirty little killer. Shut up!
You loved her. You loved your brother's wife.
Shut up, I said!
Eden, put that down.
You don't need to do that, Ma. Come on. Mr. Cartwright double-crossed us. I told you we couldn't trust him. I had to have a gun. You know that. I mean, when I have a gun, people sit up and take notice. See? When I have a gun in my hand, why, they all give me a chance. Because they're scared. Now, come on, hon. Give it here. You just don't look right with that thing in your hands.
Stay back.
Now, you know you wouldn't use that on me, Mom. I'm your son. Remember? Listen, I've got a plan. That posse would never shoot me if you were along. They just wouldn't dare. Now, what's the matter?
That's all any of us ever meant to you, isn't it? Just someone you could use.
Oh, you're wrong, Mom. I love you.
You don't know the meaning of the word. You never have and you never will. You'll have to use that gun on me, Eden.
You think I won't?
Oh, it's true. You did kill that poor girl.
Whoop-oh.
Take care of that arm, Ben.
wish you weren't going so soon.
You've done so much. Been so kind. Ben.
I understand. Just couldn't work out for us now.
I loved him, no matter what he did.
I know.
I'm sorry. Goodbye, Ben.
Bye, Catherine.
Get up.
Whoa, Coach. Easy, Coachies. Somebody smell a wolf or something out there? Ah, don't be afraid. Whatever it is, it's more scared of us than we are of it. Yeah, don't you worry.
All right, Sonny. Turn around real slow, or it's gonna be the last turn you'll ever make. And don't even wiggle a toe, or I'll turn you into a lead soldier.
And I don't know who you are, mister, but there's been a big mistake here.
The only mistake you made was getting drunk when you should have kept running.
Look, you don't understand. Will you listen?
Shut up! That's an Army saddle, right? Army saddlebags? You're nothing but a lousy deserter. You're the third one we picked up this month.
A deserter? How can I be a deserter? I've never even been in the Army.
Then you stole Army property. You're still in plenty of trouble.
Hey, Sarge. Here's a pay book. Name, Corporal Angus Borden.
So, you never been in the Army, huh?
Look, if you'll just listen to me for a minute, I was a...
Shut up!
I was asleep last night and somebody hit me on the head.
Dugan. Rogers. Trust this drunken deserter up in that saddle. Harris, take care of the other horses. It's just a short way to Fort Meade, son, and then we'll get everything straightened out. You'll be lucky if you don't get shot.
Sergeant, if you'll just listen to me for 1 minute... Look, just 1 minute, listen to me.
Detail dismissed.
What have you got there, Sergeant?
A deserter, sir. According to the pay book we found on him, his name is Corporal Angus Borden.
Did you say Corporal Angus Borden?
Yes, sir. That's the name was on the pay book, sir.
Bring the prisoner over here, Sergeant.
Yes, sir.
Where are you from, Corporal?
I am not a soldier.
Straighten up when you're talking to the captain.
Now, look, I'm not a soldier and I'm not in the Army.
Shut up! He smelled like a whiskey still when we found him, and he still don't make any sense.
Captain, if you will listen to me for 1 minute, I'll explain everything.
Go into my office. No, wait a minute, Sergeant. I think I want to speak to him alone. Wait outside, Sergeant.
Okay. And what? Adams? Yo. Lloyd? Right.
All right. What have you got to say?
My name is Joe Cartwright. I was camped last night on my way to Lode City. While I was asleep, a man, evidently this man Borden, knocked me on the head, changed clothes with me, switched horses.
This man you say knocked you out. Did you see him?
I just told you I was asleep. How could I see him? Wait a minute. I got something here that'll settle this. Right, now, this is a letter to a man named Billings in Lode City. That should prove to you that I am Joe Cartwright. Well, is that proof enough?
Sergeant?
Yes, sir.
Sergeant, you've just earned yourself a promotion.
Sir?
This is Corporal Angus Borden, deserter from Fort Craig, Montana Territory. Court-martialed and convicted for the cold-blooded killing of a superior officer.
Now, that's ridiculous. I just gave you a letter proving exactly who I am.
That proves nothing. You undoubtedly stole it, as you have undoubtedly stolen other things to avoid your punishment. Have you forgotten I was at Fort Craig when you were tried and convicted?
I've never seen you before in my life.
Stop lying! I intend to wire Fort Craig for permission to execute the prisoner here. Keep a heavy guard on him, Sergeant.
Yes, sir.
He must be crazy. He can't execute me.
He can and he will, Sonny, as soon as he gets official permission. He's the commanding officer here.
Look, I'm not Borden, I swear to you. He couldn't have seen me at Fort Craig. He's lying about it.
He's a captain in the United States Army, and you're still drunk. Now, get in there.
Sergeant, will you listen to me for a minute? The letter I just gave the captain proves I'm Joe Cartwright.
And like the captain said, you probably stole it.
Well, give me a chance to prove to you I didn't. Come on, Sergeant, give me a break.
Now, look, Sonny, the captain put the big finger on you. There's nothing you can do about it, and there's nothing I can do about it.
Why not?
Because I'm in the Army, that's why. I'm a sergeant, and the captain's my commanding officer.
Well, what do you know about him?
What do I have to know about him? It's like I said, he's my commanding officer.
Look, he said he knew Borden at Fort Craig, right?
What about it?
Well, that means he couldn't have been here very long.
That's right. He just got transferred here a few days ago.
All right, then you don't know anything about him, and he could be lying about me.
Oh, now, look, son, no sergeant in his right mind is going to think a thing like that about his commanding officer.
Oh, I see. You've been in the Army so long you don't think for yourself anymore. Is that it?
All right, get in there.
Sergeant, a wire to my father in Virginia City will straighten this whole thing out right away. Look, if it doesn't, you're not risking anything. If it does, you save my life.
What do you mean, not risking anything? Losing my stripes, that's all.
Losing your stripes? Sergeant, I'm going to lose my life.
Hi, Sarge.
Dugan, I'm gonna tell you about a little gal I met in town last night. Sarge, I met me a bar gal in town, but she kind of fat she was, but...
Shut up.
Gee, Sarge, all I want to do is just thank you for the passing to town last night.
I said shut up. Can't you see I'm thinking?
Oh, is that what you're doing? Well, I guess I better bunk out, because I'm plumb wore down to a frazzle.
Peters.
Yes, Sarge?
I got some real good news for you. Seeing as how you had such a good time in town last night, I'm going to give you another pass.
Well, gee, Sarge, thanks, but I guess I'd best turn it down.
What? Turning down a pass?
Well, like I said, Sarge...
What kind of a soldier are you? You're a disgrace to that uniform.
I'm full tuckered out, Sarge. Well, all right, Sarge, you put it that way.
That's exactly the way I put it. Besides, I want you to do something for me. It'll make you feel any better, son. I sent a man into town and got that wire off to your father, whom you claim lives in Virginia City.
You won't regret it, Sergeant.
I better not. I stuck my neck out about a yard.
Thanks.
Ah, shut up. One thing I can't stand is to see a man going soft.
Yeah, I can see that, Sergeant.
Yes?
Private Marsh, sir.
What is it?
I have a civilian outside your door, sir. Insists on seeing you, but won't give his name.
Send him in.
Yes, sir.
You fool, Borden. You want to get shot?
What are you talking about, shot? I'm nothing but a poor, innocent civilian, Captain.
What kind of a crazy game do you think you were playing?
I'm not playing no game. I planned this whole thing out very carefully. Right from the first time I saw that prisoner, you got locked up in there. See, I said to myself, he about my height and about my weight. So I followed him, switched clothes with him, left my army equipment with him. I was real smart about it. Now all you gotta do is execute him.
So that's all I have to do.
Yeah. So you execute him, and I'm in the clear, and you're in the clear too.
Borden, you have a genius for fouling things up. First at Fort Craig and now here.
Now you listen to me.
No, you listen to me. You and your plans. You're so stupidly careless you left this on the man you switched clothes with.
Paid to the order of Joseph Cartwright, $5,000. Boy, that is a lot of money, Captain.
Forget it. There's nothing to do with the predicament you've gotten us into.
It's not that easy. Just say $5,000, forget it. That's a lot of money. All I got to do to collect $5,000 is go right on being this Joe Cartwright.
You'll do nothing of the sort. We're in enough trouble as it is. You're to get out of this territory and fast.
You don't give me no orders no more, Captain. You can't afford to. Well, you've forgotten what happened back here in Fort Craig. I don't think you could forget a thing like that. So I'm telling you that I'm gonna collect that money.
And I'm telling you, you'll put us both in front of the firing squad.
Oh, and I can't believe that, Captain. Captain, I don't think that could happen at all. So, you just get used to the idea that I'm gonna do things my way. Yeah, come on, Captain, relax. Get a little smile on your face. We've been getting away with murder up till now.
Pardon me, Captain. I've been waiting to see you.
What is it, Sergeant?
Well, it's about that prisoner, the one who says his name is Cartwright.
Sergeant, I want you to meet someone. You know that letter our prisoner had? It was stolen from this man, Joe Cartwright.
Howdy, Sergeant.
How are you, sir?
Well, Captain, I want to thank you again. It was real fortunate for me I came and reported this to you.
We're indebted to you, sir. Now, I hope your business will be concluded speedily and successfully.
Captain, I got all the confidence in the world. Sergeant?
Goodbye, sir.
What was it you wanted to say about the prisoner, Sergeant?
Oh, nothing, sir. Sorry.
Yes, sir?
You got any rooms?
Oh, yes, if you'll just sign the register here. That's room 4, Mr. Cartwright. Joe Cartwright?
That's what I wrote down there, ain't it? Why?
Well, you see, I've been awfully busy around here, Mr. Cartwright, and I haven't had a chance to get off your telegram yet.
What telegram?
Oh, the one you sent in by the soldier. It's right over here. Oh, yes, there it is. I'll get to that right away.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's telegram. Hey, friend?
Mm-hmm.
Friend, you don't have to send this telegram.
Oh?
No, everything's fine now. I just soon forget it. Where's a man get a drink around here?
Oh, in the bar. Oh, I'm the bartender, too. I'm just about everything else around here. Right this way.
Napping on duty, huh? You want to get us all scalped in our sleep?
I wasn't asleep, Sarge, honest. I was just resting my eyes. Anyways, there ain't been no Indian trouble around here in years.
Well, next time I catch you resting your eyes on duty, you're going to wish the only trouble you have is Indian trouble.
Good morning, Sergeant. Hey, say good morning. You feel pretty good this morning, thanks to you.
Well, that's just fine, because you haven't got many mornings left.
What's that supposed to mean?
You know, some of these fuzzy-cheeked recruits around here think I'm too old. They think I ought to retire. Well, maybe they're right. Because I must be getting soft in the head to let myself get bamboozled by a snake-eyed polecat like you.
Wait a minute, what's this all about? Last night you wanted to help me.
Sure, and late last night right here in this fort, I saw the real Joe Cartwright. How do you like that, Corporal Borden?
What are you talking about? Oh, wait a minute. This man that you saw, was he wearing a green jacket, brown shirt, and gray pants?
Yeah, how'd you know that?
Because, Sergeant, those are my clothes. You remember I told you the man hit me on the head and switched clothes with me? That was Corporal Borden.
What you're saying is that the real Borden had the nerve to walk right in this fort, bold as brass, and get buddy-buddy with Captain Merced.
Who's the only man in this fort who knows what Borden looks like, Sergeant? Sergeant, who is the only man in this fort who knows what Borden looks like? You know, you're gonna have to get it through that thick skull of yours that your Captain Merced is up to something. You get all the proof you need when my father sends that wire back.
Yes, Mr. Cartwright?
Hey, you tell me where the cattle exchange is in this one-horse town? I'm looking for a man named Billings.
Oh, well, the cattle exchange is about 2 doors up the street. However, if you'd like to speak to Mr. Mort Billings, that's him sitting right over there at that table.
Thank you. Your name Billings?
Yes, sir. What can I do for you, Mr.
Cartwright. My name is Joseph Cartwright.
Oh, yes, Mr. Cartwright. Your father wrote me several weeks ago, said he was sending his younger son to pick up a bank draft.
Well, that's me. Mm-hmm. I got a letter here from my dad, explaining everything.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I'd kind of like to get this business over with real quick so I can just get right out of this town.
Don't you worry about that. The check is waiting for you in my office.
A check?
Why, yes.
You see, I don't want no check. I want the money right in cash.
But this is Saturday. I'm afraid you'll have to wait at least until Monday morning when the bank reopens.
I can't wait that long, Mr. Billings.
Then you'll have to accept the check.
What kind of town is this? All right, now, I want that money then. I want it bright and early on Monday morning.
Of course, Mr. Cartwright. Oh, won't you join me in breakfast?
No, I'm gonna walk around the streets here and see if I can do something to keep me from getting bored to death. First thing on Monday morning.
Yes, sir. Mr. Weems.
Yes, Mr. Billings?
I want to send a telegram.
Oh, all right.
Right away, if you don't mind.
Oh, yes, sir. If you'll just write it out here.
This is to a Mr. Cartwright.
Mr. Cartwright.
In Virginia City.
Virginia City. But, Mr. Billings, you were just talking to Mr. Cartwright.
This is to his father. Oh. And keep this one under your hat, understand?
Yes, sir.
Come on, Dugan. Are you going to take all day shoeing that horse?
Well, I did what you said, Sarge. I sent the telegram just as soon as I got into town. I was going to come right back here, being as tired as I was, but I ran into that bar gal. I mean to tell you something, Sarge. She is a fat woman.
Will you shut up about you and your fat bar gals? Did you get an answer to that telegram?
Now, looky here, Sergeant. You didn't say nothing about me waiting for no answer.
Well, you dull-witted, fat-for-brains excuse for a soldier. Do you have to be told every little thing?
Well, ain't that just why I'm an enlisted man, Sergeant? Except I don't have to have no order to turn in. I am wore out.
Peters, you know what I'm going to do for you?
No, Sergeant.
I'm going to give you another pass to town.
Dugan, you want to go to town, don't you?
A soldier turning down a pass to town while you're a disgrace to that uniform. You get back to Lode City and you stay there until you get an answer to that telegram, and that's an order.
Soldier, you all right?
No.
Little too much celebrating?
Ain't too much
celebrating.
You'd be a whole lot better off sleeping back at Fort Meade than you would out here.
I'm going to sleep. You better know I'm going to sleep. Oh, hot dog, I got orders. I got to see about a telegram. What's that feller's name? Joseph Cartwright.
Hey, soldier! Hey, soldier, wait a minute. Come on back here.
Did he say Joe Cartwright? You thought that's what he said, Joseph Cartwright. What would a soldier from Fort Meade have to do with a telegram about a little Joe?
I don't know. I'm gonna catch him, Paul.
Yeah. Yes, I'll go over to Fort Meade, make some inquiries there. I'll see you in Lode City.
Fine. I'll check out the Billings telegram, too.
All right.
I am in command of over 100 men here, Mr. Cartwright. And most of them are, well, an irresponsible lot. I can't keep track of all their movements.
Yes, but this man specifically used my son's name, Joseph Cartwright.
Oh, of course. He stopped by here last night. A most personable young man.
Well, little Joe was here.
That he was. He stopped to get his saddle cinch fixed. Said something about having finished some business in Lode City and was most anxious to get home, I believe.
That would be him, of course. I still don't understand what this man said. He was sending some wire for my son.
The soldier was probably doing your son a favor, wiring you that he was delayed but on his way home. I'm sure it's nothing more than that.
Yeah, of course, that would be it. Well, thank you very much, Captain.
I'll escort you to the gate.
Thank you.
Hey, little buddy.
Yes, sir.
Howdy. You got a Joe Cartwright staying here, a young feller, dark hair, dark eyes, wearing a green jacket.
Oh, yeah, we sure have. He's in room 4, but he ain't here now. He stepped out about an hour ago.
He did, huh?
Uh-huh.
Oh, look, how'd he look? Was he seem to be all right?
Now, look, mister, I'm just about everything around here, but I ain't the doctor. Well, he looked all right. Why don't you try the saloons?
Yeah, I reckon will. Thank you.
You sent for me, sir?
I've heard from Fort Craig. The execution of the prisoners to take place tomorrow at dawn.
Tomorrow, sir? But tomorrow's Sunday.
I don't care if it's the 4th of July. Corporal Borden is a killer, and as such, he deserves no particular consideration.
But, sir, are you sure that Fort Craig wants him shot tomorrow? With your permission, sir, I've been in the Army a good many years. I never remember a man being executed on the Sabbath.
This is my decision, Sergeant. Are you questioning it?
No, sir.
Then we understand each other. Carry out your orders.
Yes, sir.
Oh, and Sergeant, I'd like a list of all men on leave.
Well, there's no soldiers on leave, sir. I sign all the passes myself.
Then there's one AWOL. And I have knowledge he's trying to help the prisoner. Check the roster.
Yes, sir.
get the answer from my pa?
No, I didn't, son. But I got orders from Captain Merced. You're going to be lined up against a wall and shot tomorrow morning. It's just about 8 hours from now.
Yeah, but the telegram.
Well, your father better send an answer pronto. I got a man in town waiting for it. If it don't come, there's nothing else I can do, son.
Horse.
Oh, Paul.
Little Joe's on his way home.
Huh?
Yeah. Captain was said at the fort. He said he was through there last night, and he's on his way back to Virginia City.
Well, if he is, he left all of his gear here.
What?
Yeah, he checked into this hotel, room number 4. I went up there and looked that room over, and his saddlebag, everything he's got's all up there.
Oh, that's funny, isn't it? Did you see Billings?
No. He won't be back in town until tomorrow.
Little Joe left his gear here?
Sure did. I scouted around town for him. I never did see him. I figured he was probably holed up my poker game somewhere, so I come back here to wait for him.
Oh. Well, maybe we'd both better check this town again.
Well? Did you get an answer to that telegram?
Now, you quit your jawing and bellowing at me, Sarge.
Don't you talk back to me, Peters, or I'll have your stripes.
What stripes? Besides, it was you that goofed up in the first place, sending me into town for an answer to a telegram that was never even sent.
Say that again.
It would never send, Sarge. I talked to that telegraph man at the hotel. He said it was picked up by the man whose name you signed to it in the first place. Feller named Joe Cartwright. And this Joe Cartwright said ain't no need in sending any telegram.
All right, boy. Go get a good night's sleep.
Well, what more proof do you need, Sergeant? You believe me now?
Yes, son, I believe you now.
All right, what are we going to do about it?
There's nothing I can do.
You mean nothing you can do? You mean you're going to go ahead with the execution even though you know you'll be guilty of killing an innocent man?
An enlisted man is never guilty for obeying orders, son. He's only guilty for disobeying them.
Oh, I see how it is, Sergeant. It's an order so you don't have to worry about your conscience.
Here's a list of men I want mustered out in the parade ground at dawn, full uniform.
What's up, Sarge?
Corporal Borden here's going to face a firing squad. Captain Merced's orders.
If I'm going to get murdered, Sergeant, let's get the record straight. Not Borden, Cartwright.
Cartwright? Hey, now there's an odd one, Sarge. There was another fellow called himself Cartwright here earlier this evening while I was out on gate detail. Big, impressive-looking fellow, gray hair. Talked a bit with Captain Merced and then left.
Sergeant, that's my father. He was here.
Dugan, you keep your lip buttoned about this. You understand? I gave you orders. Carry him out.
Sergeant, you've got to go in town and find my father.
I can't go into town. The captain will want to know why. I've got to send someone else. There's only one man I can trust.
Look, it's a long haul to Load City. We've only got a few hours left till sunup.
Now, you keep your shirt on. Like I told you, I've got the one man who can handle this.
Hey, wake up, quick, come on. Run the double. Get dressed, put on the uniform.
What do you want, Sarge?
You're about the luckiest soldier on this post. I'm giving you another pass to town.
I don't want to pass into... I don't ever want to pass into
What?
town.
A soldier turning down a pass? Well, you're a disgrace to this uniform. Come on, get dressed. On the double, come on.
We'd better go look for him again.
Paul, we ain't gonna find him. Like I said, he's probably holed up in a poker game somewhere, hid out.
Well, when that boy shows up, I'm going to give him a piece of my mind.
Oh, Paul, you don't know we're out looking for him.
If he's finished his business, he should be on his way home. I thought that was little Joe.
Those are little Joe's clothes.
Hey, Barkeep. Let me have a little nightcap.
Right away, Mr. Cartwright.
That all night poker makes a man thirsty.
Oh, by the way, Mr. Cartwright, these two gentlemen over here have been waiting to talk to you.
Well, son, we thought you'd never show up.
Yeah. I reckon you're sort of surprised to see us, ain't you, little brother? What are you so quiet about? Ain't you got a big hello for your family?
Yeah. Well, what you fellas want with me?
It's kind of a silly question, ain't it? We just want you to come along with us, little brother.
Yeah, we just want to have a little family talk. In private.
Well, I ain't going nowhere, neither one of you.
You keep a civil tongue in your mouth, boy, when you're talking to your pa, you hear me?
Now, see here, gentlemen, I don't want any trouble in here.
It's all right, Mr. Williams. Just a little family discussion.
Oh, well, I guess if it's all in the family, it's all right.
Now, you come along with us, little brother.
I ain't your brother, and you know that.
And who are you? Where's my son?
Look, I don't know nothing. All I know is I won these clothes and a horse and a card game.
What about my son's name? Did you win that, too?
All right, so I used his name. I found a piece of paper in the pocket that said this Joe Cartwright could go ahead and collect $5,000. So I tried to collect it. It didn't work, but that's all I know about it. Now, come on, let me just ride out of town.
I asked you a question. Where's my son?
He ain't gonna talk, Paul.
Now, you listen to me, young fella. Did you ride out to Fort Meade last night and talk to Captain Merced?
I've never been to Fort Meade. I don't know Captain Merced.
You know, I'm beginning to get the idea that you're lying to me. Just like I'm beginning to get the idea that Captain Merced lied to me. Because how could my son have concluded his business like the captain said he did? If you still got that letter to Mort Billings.
Look, that don't mean nothing to me. I don't know nothing about that.
Now, you got yourself mixed up in this. So you're going to ride out with us to Fort Meade. We're going to get some very honest answers to some very pertinent questions.
Now, you got a choice. You can come along with us conscious, or we'll take you unconscious.
Now, get moving. Mr. Williams, sorry to have bothered you with our family problems.
Oh, well, that's all right, sir. It sounded right interesting. Wish I had time for that sort of thing. Say, soldier, don't you ever go to sleep?
Sleep? Please don't talk about it. I almost forgot what it's like.
Well, quit cluttering up my bar. Go sleep somewhere else.
Yeah. I can't. I gotta find Cartwright. Do you know a fella named Cartwright?
Which one?
What do you mean, which one?
Well, simply that. There are several, evidently.
Oh, no. Look, do me a favor. Just tell me where I can find any one of them.
Can't. Family affair. Very private.
No. I got to get some sleep.
No sign of him yet, son. I'll stall it as long as I can, but I can only do so much.
I know, Sergeant. It's not your fault. I'm not holding any grudge. I want you to know that.
You're a good soldier, son. You see anyone coming, anyone at all, you let me know real fast, you understand?
Yes, sir.
I guess I'm gonna die without ever knowing why. But you'll know, won't you, Captain? You'll know until the day you die. I just hope you can live with it.
Sergeant.
Yes, sir.
Carry on.
Prisoner, fall in.
Detail. Head. Hut. Forward. Hands. Right. Hands. Prisoner. Forward. Corporal Angus Borden, you've been found guilty of murder by a military court-martial. As commanding officer of this post, it is my duty to see that sentence is carried out. Ready? Aim! Fire!
What's that? Sound like rifle fire from the port, Paul. Move. You.
Order! Hives! Sergeant, you issued those rifles. How do you account for this incompetence?
Well, I guess I made a mistake, sir. I meant to load only one of them rifles with a blank, like the regulation book says, but I guess I...
You guess! Your stupidity has just cost you your stripes.
Yes, sir.
This time you'll reload yourselves. And no blanks, you understand?
I tried, son. It gave us a couple of more minutes. But I don't know what to do next.
You did all you could, Sergeant. Thanks.
Sergeant, move away from the prisoner.
I'm sorry, sir, but I'm not moving. I've been in this man's army for 27 years, and I never disobeyed an order. But when you're gonna kill an innocent man, and I think you know he's innocent, then I gotta disobey.
Silence! Put the sergeant under arrest. Take him away. We will continue. You've all witnessed a flagrant act of willful insubordination. I can only surmise that Sergeant O'Rourke's many years of service have resulted in a breakdown. We will continue. Prepare to load. Load! Ready. Aim.
What is this?
Mr. Cartwright, this is a military post.
I know it is, Captain, and this is my son, the one you said was through here last night.
Well, I thought he did.
Did you? Then who's that?
I can tell you who that is. That's the real Angus Borden. The man who hit me on the head and took my clothes.
That's the man who came by here and said he was your son. I'm glad you're here, Mr. Cartwright. You stopped me from making a terrible error. Put that man under arrest.
Why'd you try to have me killed, Captain?
I've already told you, sir. It was a mistake.
Oh, come on. It was no mistake. You know who I am and you know who he is. You never met me at Fort Craig. You never saw me before in your life.
Well, in any event,
Come
sir.
on now, Captain. There ain't no mistake about it, and you know it. You're in this thing right up to your neck. So he juggled the books back here at Fort Craig. Then I'd peddle the supplies to the Indians.
That's a lie, Borden.
Shut up, Captain, and let him finish. Everything worked out real fine. Till another officer caught on to us. And then I killed him right in front of the captain. After I was tried and convicted, Captain Harris lucked me the key to guardhouse. To save his own hide. But we partners, Captain. You gonna get it just the same as I am. Don't try it, Captain.
Captain Merced, sir, you're under arrest. Take them both to the guardhouse.
I'd like you to meet Sergeant O'Rourke. Man who saved my life. Sergeant?
I don't know how to thank you.
Mr. Cartwright, if he gives you any more trouble, you just send for me.
Sergeant? Thank you.
So long, son.
Thank you, Sarge.
Well?
That Williams feller back at the hotel, he wouldn't say nothing about them Cartwrights.
Huh?
He said it was a family.
You know, Peters, you'd make a pretty good soldier if you wouldn't keep asking for those passes to go into town all the time. Peters? Hey, Peters?
Whitaker. You all right?
What do you want?
Mr. Whitaker, you got an appointment to meet with my pa over at Lawyer Betsy's.
Don't worry, Hoss. I'll get him there.
Howdy, Hoss. Howdy, Sam. What can I get you? Oh, give me a tall, cool one, Sam. Kill a little ham till Joe and Paul get to town.
And now, mon amour, it is time for another dance. Monsieur, s'il vous plaît.
Hey, Oz, look at that old man over there. He's been in here drinking and dancing with Molly all afternoon. Most any man half his age would be under the table by now.
What are you doing with my boyfriend, you man-stealing witch?
What do you mean?
I'm your boyfriend. Now, you listen to me, Sal. I'm going to give you 1 minute to get out of here, and then I'm going to pull that dyed hair right out by the roots.
No. I heard how you lured him over here, you thief.
Not
but I had to come and see it for myself to believe it.
So now you've seen. Now get out. This is my territory.
No, you do not send her away. No, of course she is charming also.
Charming?
Well, I'm not...
You should see this one when she gets out of bed in the morning.
Oh,
She's
really?
enough to make a strong man die.
Oh, no, ladies, please.
You
No, ladies.
stay out of this, honey. I have to teach this crowbait to stay away from my man.
Crowbait? Take that back, you decrepit old bag. Bag!
You think we ought to break them up? Yeah, before they start breaking up the fixtures.
No, please, gentlemen, no. Let the ladies have their little fun. I would be willing to pay whatever small damage they cause.
You will!
Break them up?
Certainly not. That would be the height of disrespect, since it is me they are fighting over.
This is getting to be quite a list, mister. You sure you can pay?
No, don't worry, my friend. Do not worry at all.
But I am worrying. What is your name, anyway?
Lafitte. Jean Lafitte.
Hey, there was a famous pirate named John Lafitte. You ain't by chance related, are you?
Related? My dear friend, I am that Jean Lafitte.
But, you know, we ran into old Jim Lane. You know the way he likes the job.
Oh, listen, can I talk to you a minute?
Well, Hoss, we're late for Lawyer Betch's meeting. I can't wait.
Yeah, just take a minute, Paul.
Joe, will you tell the lawyer that we'll be along in a few minutes?
Right. Now, what is it? Come on with me. Paul.
Yeah.
Do you remember one time telling us about having met Jean Lafitte when your ships were at the same harbor?
Yeah, when I was an apprentice seaman.
Yeah, down in New Orleans somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
Now, let me ask you something. How old would he be now?
Well, according to reports, he died a long time ago.
Yeah, but that's according to reports. Now, if he is still alive, how old would he be?
Oh, well, I don't know. I guess maybe about 70.
70, huh?
What's all this about?
Paul. He's over there in Roy Coffey's jail right now.
He says he's Lafitte? What's he doing in that jail?
Oh, there's a ruckus over at the saloon, and a couple of women got in a fight over it.
A couple of women got in a fight over him. 70-year-old man.
Oh, wait till you see this 70-year-old man.
Howdy, Ben.
Roy?
You come over to identify our prize prisoner like Hoss here said you could?
Well, Roy, I come over to have a look at a 70-year-old man. Now, I don't know if I can identify him. I was a kid when I saw Lafitte in New Orleans. Besides, I heard he died a long time ago. Now, do you really think that could be him?
Well, it could be. After all, he's in my jail. Ben, what I've heard of this John Lafitte, he was a pirate and a smuggler and a swindler and just about every kind of a rascal known, but this fella sure answers that description.
He was also a war hero, Roy. Ever since Paul first told me about him when I was just a young'un, I got interested in him and I did some research, and I found out if it hadn't been for Jean Lafitte, that we'd have lost the War of 1812 at the Battle of New Orleans.
Of course, that's right, Hoss. But he was a pretty bloodthirsty pirate, and then he became a war hero. And he went back to pirating again. Well, let's have a look at this ghost anyway.
Well, come on, but I don't think he's no ghost. I think he's just a plain crook, like Sam the bartender's going to testify at the trial. Well, old man, we got somebody here who knew you in the old days.
Most interesting. Is this the man?
Yeah, that's Ben Cartwright. He wants to know the real John Lafitte.
No, you are not old enough to have known me in my prime.
Oh, well, I was just a pretty young apprentice seaman at the time.
Oh, I see. Well, I'm afraid my memory is not that good. Young girls, I remember. Young apprentice seamen, no.
Yeah, I don't know. I understand you're in jail here because a little woman trouble.
It was worth it. Those girls were absolutely delightful. And after all, what is there left for a poor, helpless old man but to try to enjoy his few remaining years?
Helpless old man. Why, you old reprobate, you're just about as helpless as a two-headed sidewinder.
Roy, I don't think that's quite respectful to talk to an American hero like that.
Him, a war hero? Hoss, all these confidence men try to get you to feel sorry for him. Now, don't let this one fool you.
Well, I'll tell you how much he's fooled me. I'm going to bail him out. I'm going to pay all the damages.
You what?
I'm going to bail him out.
Now, look, Hoss, you don't have to get yourself involved in this.
Now, Paul, you were the one that told me about the War of 1812 and about Jean Lafitte. Now, if this man happened to be Jean Lafitte, it'd be a crying shame for him to have to spend the last remaining days of his life behind bars.
Hoss, you're letting this imposter play in your sympathies.
But, Roy, I ain't for sure he is an imposter, and that's just the trouble. I'm going to pay his damages.
Well, all right. I got an itemized list here somewhere.
Now, look, Hoss, we're already overdue the lawyer, so let's go over there and you can come back and settle this later.
Oh, you go ahead. I'll join you later.
All right. See you later, Roy.
All right, Ben. There you are. Well, here's your stuff, your cane.
Ah, oui, my walking
your
stick.
bag.
Yesterday.
You know something?
Oh, yes.
That's the darnest knife I've ever seen in my life.
That, my friend, is a pirate's cutlass, as necessary to my profession as a plow to a farm.
Well, what do you use it for?
Slitting throats.
You know, I never know for sure whether you're joshing or whether you're on a level.
You know, I am never certain myself.
Joe and I have been having a nice chat.
Well, good.
What did Hoss want, Bob?
Huh? Oh, I'll tell you about that later. Where's Amos?
He won't be here.
Well, how are we going to settle anything without him?
Well, the truth of it is he was here, but he was so drunk I had his foreman take him home.
Now, look, Walter. I think we've waited just about long enough to get paid for that herd.
Amos Whitaker swears that you were paid in full and in cash when you rode out to his place a week ago Tuesday.
Well, then he is drunk.
Has he got a receipt to prove that?
Says he and your father are such old friends that they never bothered with receipts and such.
Well, that's true enough, but what's he trying to say? That I'm cheating him by asking him to pay twice for the same herd?
It's a lot of money, Ben.
Now, come on, Walter. You don't think I'm trying to pull some trick on him, do you?
Well, of course not, Ben. I trust you implicitly.
Well?
The thing is, I trust Amos Whitaker implicitly, too. Oh, he's a difficult man when he's drinking, but... well, I've never heard of him doing anything even slightly dishonest.
Well, I'm going to tell you one thing. Amos better be sober in the morning, because I'm riding out there to have a talk with him.
Oh, Ben, let me deal with it. Now, I've handled both your affairs for a long time. I promise I'll get to the bottom of it if I have to put aside everything else on my calendar.
All right. Thank you, Walter.
Well, I'm not being entirely unselfish, Ben.
People are going to stop talking and start shooting. How's a lawyer going to make a living?
So long, Mr. Betts.
Bye, little Joe.
Ready to go, Hoss? Oh, hi, Bull.
What do you got there?
It's a diamond. Ain't it pretty? Mr. Lafitte gave it to me. He said he got that off of a Greek princess.
Yeah, Pa was telling me about that new friend of yours, Hoss. He, talk you into buying that thing?
He gave it to me.
It's a pretty big diamond. What did you give him in return?
A couple of drinks over there at the Gold Lily.
I bet I know. Then you talked him into taking every bit of money you had on you.
Yeah. I'd have done that anyhow, even without this.
You know, Joe, they say if you take a rock, you put a diamond on top of it. You just tap it. Now, if it's a real diamond, it won't break. Of course, if it isn't a real diamond, it shatters in little pieces.
A rock like that?
Yeah.
Another little gem he gave me.
Oh, you gotta be kidding. Look at that. It's another phony gem.
Now, look, what do I have to do to get it through that thick skull of yours?
What does that prove? It just proves Mr. Lafitte's got a bunch of phony jewelry.
Oh, well, forget it. You try and talk to him, Pa.
Well, it's highly improbable that he's the Mr. Lafitte, the war hero. But it's not entirely impossible. So I suggest we compromise. Let's have him here in our home as our guest for the next couple of days. But let's keep a very careful eye on all the silverware.
You know, if Adam was here right now, he would agree with me.
Well, he ain't here. He's in San Francisco, and Mr. Lafitte's staying, and that's all there is to it.
Hey, Pa, you mind if I take a look at those books of yours?
You want to look at books?
Yeah, I thought I might read up on the War of 1812.
Et la tête, alouette, alouette. Oh, alouette, gentille alouette. Alouette, je te plumerai le bec, je te plumerai le bec. Et le bec, et la tête, alouette, alouette. Oh, alouette, gentille alouette. Alouette, je te plumerai le dos, je te plumerai le dos, et le dos, et le bec, et la tête, alouette, oh, alouette, gentille alouette, alouette, je te plumerai.
In my life.
Oh, the most beautiful young lady will have even more fun. The evening is just beginning.
Mr. Lafitte, you and me are going to have to be going home now. A man your age has got to have his sleep.
Nonsense!
All right, fine. Whoa. Then a man my age has got to have his sleep.
His age, you know.
All right. We'll have one more round, but then we got to go home for sure. You hear? One more round, Sam. On the tab.
Okay, we'll be. Better get cash, Sam.
Cantankerous old codger.
Especially when he's drunk. Never really remembers what he does or says. Then has to go around apologizing when he's sober.
Huh? Mr. Whitaker.
What's on your mind, boy?
Sir, you know my Paul well enough, or you certainly ought to know that he ain't going to try to cheat you.
He took my money, and he swears he didn't. Now, some folks call that cheating.
Well, it's some sort of misunderstanding. Certainly, if you two could get together, talk.
There's nothing I'd like better than to talk to Ben Cartwright. I've been looking forward for a long time to telling him exactly what I think of him.
Well, why weren't you in shape to do just that in Lawyer Betts' office the other day?
Lawyer Betts? What are you talking about? This is the first I've been in town in a long time.
Mr. Whitaker, I seen you with my own two eyes come out of this saloon Friday. Lawyer Betts said you showed up at his office so drunk you couldn't talk. And he sent you home.
Sometimes I don't remember. But I get drinking pretty heavy. That's my business, not yours.
Yeah. Mr. Whitaker.
Look, why don't you let me alone? Isn't it enough that you've lied to me and cheated me?
Monsieur, do not talk like that to a friend of Jean Lafitte, or you will find you have no throat to talk through.
Mr. Lafitte, please. I can take care of this, I assure you.
Very well, if you insist, but you, remember.
I'm sorry about that. He He's just a harmless old man. What I was about to ask you was, had you been drinking hard that day you claimed that you paid my pa for that herb?
My foreman was there. He saw me hand your father that money.
Then Tully told you about it the next day, huh? Mr. Whitaker, I've never known you to lie. And certainly not my pa. But I'm sorry, I can't say the same thing for Tully. My pa would be more than happy to ride out to your place at your convenience. Anytime tomorrow. Talk this thing over with you and try to get it settled.
Beautiful breakfast. Beautiful breakfast. But you know, this coffee should have a little chicory in it in the style of New Orleans. I will tell Hop Sing the secret.
You know, for a man who ain't had no sleep, you're mighty chipper this morning, Mr. Lafitte.
Yeah, how do you do it?
Clean living, my boy. Clean living.
No. It's all very pleasant. I gotta go to see Amos Whitaker.
Don't lose your temper, Bonner.
All right, come on in. Come on. I'm sorry, I'm just leaving, but you're going to have some coffee with the boys.
Well, thanks. Where you heading, Ben?
I'm going to see Amos Whitaker.
You save yourself a trip. Amos is dead.
What happened to him, Roy?
Somebody slit his throat with this.
My cutlass, of course. During all the gaiety at the saloon last night, it was either lost or stolen.
Then that must have been after you threatened Whitaker.
Oui. I first noticed it was missing after Monsieur House left for home around midnight, I should say.
And you two weren't together all evening?
No, sir. Mr. Lafitte stayed at the saloon after I left.
Miss Lafitte, we figured that Amos Whitaker was murdered about 3 o'clock this morning. Now, where were you at that time?
I cannot compromise a lady.
Well, if you cannot come up with something better than that, you're in real trouble.
Sheriff, before you start making any charges, maybe you ought to check and find out where Amos Whitaker's foreman was at 3 o'clock this morning.
I know where Tully was. He was getting his throat slit, too.
On my honor, as a soldier who was decorated by the American government, I had nothing to do with these killings.
Just the same, you're going to have to come along with me.
All right. We'll see that you have a defense lawyer.
You are most kind. You look at that. Broiled lizard tongue. A very interesting dish.
Now, what are you talking about? That's the most tender chicken there's to be had anywhere.
Then what is your secret recipe that makes it taste like broiled lizard tongues?
Hiya, Johnny boy.
Oh, just in time. Bonanza. Oh.
Mr. Lafitte, Molly here says that she was the one you was out with the other night and right during the time the murder took place. So I reckon that clears everything up, huh, Roy?
That's right. Johnny boy and I went for a buggy ride after we left the saloon. Oh, it was very romantic. We must have stayed out till almost 2 o'clock in the morning.
No, it was much later than that, ma chérie. You remember the beautiful sunrise as we returned?
Sunrise? What sunrise?
This sunrise. The one you and I watched this morning together.
Just tell the truth, Miss Molly. Exactly as you remember it.
Well, the truth is, it was just before 2 o'clock when I got back to my room at the hotel.
Well, that would have given Johnny boy here plenty of time to ride out to Amos Whitaker's ranch before 3 o'clock in the morning, wouldn't it?
I think that'll be all, Miss Travers.
I'm sorry, Johnny boy. It's been fun up to now.
Molly.
Johnny boy.
Molly.
Right there.
She is lying. It is her word against mine.
I mean no offense, Mr. Lafitte. But as your lawyer, it is my duty to point out that yours is the word of a pirate with an extremely spotty record.
Lawyer Betts, you think that Mr. Lafitte's past will have any influence on the jury?
Jurors are only human. I think it might make a very big difference.
In that case, gentlemen, I have a small confession to make. I am not Jean Lafitte.
You ain't John Lafitte? And you spent all this time convincing folks you were?
Let us say I am an old man who enjoys his little joke.
Making fools out of folks. Is that your idea of a joke?
I am sorry, messieurs. I am very sorry. I have lied to you often, but this I swear to you is the truth. I did not kill Monsieur Whitaker or his foreman.
And I reckon you're willing to swear to that on your honor as a great American hero, huh?
I do not blame you for no longer believing in me.
Take this bag in, Mr. Lafitte, or whatever his name is. I'll be right back.
I'm sorry, Hoss.
You know, I reckon I'm pretty stupid, but for some reason or other, Paul, I can't keep from believing him when he tells me he didn't kill them two men.
Now, why should you think that makes you stupid? He happens to be a man who lives by his wits. You happen to be a fellow who lives by your heart. And, you know, I think I like your way better.
Well, it don't make no difference, I reckon. Because I've had it with him. All his tall tales and his lies and his fake jewelry. I mean, really, Paul, I've had it with him.
Oh, how kind of you to bring me fresh linen.
It's all right, Mr. Lafitte.
Monsieur Oz, I hate to ask, but when a man's life is at stake, he will risk anything, any humiliation.
Mm-hmm.
Just one last small favor.
Like?
The very beautiful Mademoiselle Molly will be in her room at the hotel right now. I would appreciate it very much if you would talk to her and ascertain why she stole my cutlass.
Mr. Lafitte, why are you so all-fired sure that it was Molly that stole your cutlass?
Because I know women. Now off with you to Mademoiselle Molly before she leaves for the dance hall.
Dad burn it, I reckon I'm some kind of a dang fool or something.
Monsieur Oz, just please believe me innocent of those murders, whatever else you may believe of me. Alouette, je te plumerai, je te plumerai.
So you think I swiped Johnny Boy's cutlass while he and I were dancing together, huh? And then after that, I suppose I slipped it to a Confederate and took Johnny Boy buggy riding until dawn. Is that it?
Oh, no, Miss Molly, it ain't what I think.
You know, Haas, that two-faced old rascal's really got you bamboozled. Now, if you'll excuse me, I gotta get to work.
Yes. Mr. Lafitte! Mr. Lafitte! Put that thing away. What are you doing?
Not until I have sliced this so beautiful little lady into not so beautiful little pieces.
Oh, Haas, he's just local enough to do it.
You will die by inches. You will die slowly, slowly.
Mr. Lafitte! Mr. Lafitte!
No. I must follow her, please. I must find out where she goes.
You're going right back to jail where you belong. That's where you're going.
If Lafitte gives you his word of honor that he will return to the jail cell at once, will you follow her?
Yeah, but you ain't Lafitte, remember? You're a fake.
Even an impostor has honor. There, you see? She runs down the street. Does she run to the sheriff's office? No, she runs in the opposite direction to her unknown accomplice. You must follow her. You must. Or forfeit me to the hangman.
All right, but if you're making a fool out of me again...
Back to the jail cell, I swear to you. Now, dépêchez-vous, s'il vous plaît. Je vous en prie. Vite, vite.
All right, I'll follow her, but you back to the jail, you hear? Come on. What are you doing here? You're supposed to be in a jail cell.
Did not Lafitte keep his word as always? Did I not return to my cell?
You must not have stayed very long. What are you doing with Roy's hat and coat on in here?
It is a disguise.
Now I'm accomplice to a jailbreak.
Take heart, Monsieur Hoss. All will be straightened out in due course. Now, what about Mademoiselle Molly?
That's something else. She didn't go to no Confederate. She went to her lawyer. That's where she went.
So? What lawyer?
Same one you got. Walter Betts. Oh. She didn't get to see him, though. There's a note on his door said he wouldn't be back till after supper. Wait a minute. Where you going?
Lafitte is counting on his good friend for one last small favor.
What more do you want from me, anyhow?
My whole defense depends upon it. Now follow me.
What's interesting about Mr. Betts' back door? Looks like any other door to me.
Would you mind keeping your eye on the street while I make my examination, please?
Well, make it snappy, because Mr. Betts is going to be back here in a minute. How long are you going to have to study that door, Mr. Lafitte? Mr. Lafitte? Burn your ornery hide. How come you didn't tell me you was going to break in here?
Would you have allowed it?
I certainly wouldn't.
You see?
Oh, what are you figuring on finding in here anyhow?
Evidence that Lawyer Betts is Mademoiselle Molly's accomplice.
That ain't the silliest dang thing I ever heard of.
Oh, is it?
Lawyer Betts is honest clean through.
Ah, monsieur, did I not fool you into thinking that I was Jean Lafitte?
You sure did.
Then is it not possible that Lawyer Betts could have fooled you into thinking that he is honest, clean through?
What makes you suspect him?
It could be nobody else. He made a brief appearance in the saloon that night after you left, and Mademoiselle Molly could very easily have slipped him my cutlass. There is no other explanation.
Oh, yes, there is. There's one.
Oh, yeah, indeed. What?
That you could still be the murderer after all.
Could I look you in the eye if that were true?
Yep, and pick my pocket while you've done it.
Well, since you understand me so well, you must know that I could not have murdered those two men, huh? Thank you, Monsieur Hoss. Now, please, one small favor. Will you continue looking for evidence?
Hey, wait a minute. Mr. Lafitte, how am I going to find what I don't even know what I'm looking for? Now, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Wait just a dang minute. What do you think you're doing anyhow?
The safe, it was behind the picture.
You can't do that. That's burglary.
Hmm? Everything will be all right. You wait and see, Monsieur Hoss.
$1,000 bills.
Almost exactly the same amount Mr. Whittaker claimed to have given your father.
Hey, wait till the sheriff sees that.
No, it would be a mistake to give it to the sheriff. A man as shrewd as Mr. Betts would no doubt have some explanation as to how he came by such a huge sum.
What are we going to do then?
Several things. One, we can return the money to the safe and lock it up. Two, we can put the picture back in place on the wall so that Mr. Betts will not know that his secret has been discovered. And three. Can you see me here?
Nope.
Then three, I will hide here. And for you, I suggest, the closet.
We're going to hide out till the lawyer gets back, right?
Exactly. Then we find out what Mademoiselle Molly has to say to him.
Yeah, but what if he catches us?
Always you look on the gloomy side. Why cannot you be more cheerful? You will not have to remain there more than 1 hour at the most.
Molly, what are you doing here?
What am I doing here? Did you know that Lafitte bound and gagged Sheriff Coffey in his own jail and then escaped?
Good.
Good. The old buzz is threatening to kill me.
No, I'll ask the sheriff to appoint a deputy to guard you. You'll be safe. And Lafitte's escaping will be considered an admission of guilt.
You know, you're smart, Walter. So smart you sometimes worry me. You get people trusting you, and then, like Tully.
What about Tully?
Tully played square with us all the way through. You paid him off with a slit throat.
Isn't a two-way split better than a three?
And what happens to me if you decide a one-way split is better than two?
I rode all the way to Morgan City today to make the arrangements to buy a dance hall with the money from this deal. You're going to run it, with me as a silent partner. Now, does that sound like a double cross?
He heard every word we said.
Unbuckle the gun belt. Drop it. Where's Lafitte?
Oh.
You never were a very good liar, Hoss. He's around here somewhere.
What makes you so sure?
Well, Hoss isn't tricky enough to pull something like this on his own. Where is he?
I said I didn't know.
No place here he could hide except... unscrupulous, deceitful, conniving old... How long were you in that closet?
About an hour.
Your Honor, may I address the court? I came home from a business trip. Found a prowler in my office. It was dark, and I shot him before I realized it was House Cartwright. And to this day, I have no idea what he was doing there. Well, Your Honor?
Killing Amos Whitaker was bad enough. Tully was even worse, but Haas.
I suppose you'd rather the law hung both of us.
Hold still! Won't you hold still?
Somewhat out of breath is all. When one reaches the age of 70, it is time to give up acrobatics. And here, never put such temptation in my path again.
Oh. Look here, Mr. Lafitte, you could have got away with that. How come you didn't?
Because you believed in me. You were my friend, and Lafitte never abandons a friend. At least not very often.
I don't know where you find these stories. Now, look, before you leave, you must do us one small little favor.
Well, certainly.
Now, tell us who you are. I mean, who you are really.
Who I am really? I'm Jean Lafitte, of course.
But, Mr. Lafitte, when you were in the jail cell, you said that...
Because at that time it was inconvenient for me to be Jean Lafitte, but now with the charges against me being dismissed, I am free to resume my true identity.
I see. Well, where are you going to go now, Mr. Lafitte?
Where will I go now? Where the music is gay, where the wine is good, and where the women are beautiful. Eh bien. Now, Monsieur Oz, one small last favor, if you please. I thank you very much. Mes amis, au revoir.
You know, I don't think he's ever going to change.
No, I guess not. Hey, look what the old phony gave me. Another diamond.
Hey, another one?
What did you give him in return this time?
The horse he's riding, the second best saddle I owned, and every penny I had to my name. But boy, it's worth it. The stories the old guy told.
I know.
He was telling me one just the other day, a new one.
Yeah.
See, he was boarding this ship all alone, single-handedly. Yeah. He had his sword, and he jumped down. Yeah.
This is a real diamond.
Yeah, so he jumped...
You don't suppose that really is...
À bientôt. Sorry. That's good.
You still Mrs. Dayton's foreman, or are you just her night watchman?
Trouble with my eyes, Cartwright. Just give them a rest.
I'd say you're having a lot of trouble with them. I just rode up your east fence line. It's still shot through with dry rot. Lane, I told you about it 3 weeks ago. Why haven't you done something about it?
Just because you're courting wit every week don't give you no right to give orders around here.
It's going to be a lot easier fixing your fence than chasing stock all over the Nevada territory.
Now, why don't you worry about the widow and let me worry about the stock?
I don't know what's eating you, but it's obvious you're not getting the work done around here, so why don't you just pick up your wages and move on, huh?
Cartwright, why don't you go on up to the house and hold your little woman's knitting yarn for her? Or whatever it is you two do together.
Come on, Lane, break it up.
Peggy, go back in the house.
Here, fellas, break it up, fellas.
Lane, stop it!
Lane!
Lane, don't...
All right, that's enough.
Adam, stop it! Adam, just... Adam, this is terrible.
When he wakes up, he's going to wonder who hit him with an axe handle.
He's not getting the work done around here, and he doesn't know how to keep a civil tongue in his head. I told him to pick up his wages and leave.
Is that right, Mrs. Dayton? Mr. Cartwright running the ranch now?
Get your things together. I'll have your money. Well, Adam, are you?
Am I what?
Are you running this ranch?
Not high enough, Adam. Push me higher.
Oh? Think you can take it?
Uh-huh.
All right. Let me get ready.
Peggy, you better go in and get ready for lunch. I want to talk to Adam.
Oh, Oh, Mommy.
Come on.
All right, Peggy, come on. There you go. I'll give you a long ride this time. A real high one, all right? I'm sorry, Laurie. You should have been fired weeks ago.
It happens that I don't like to fire people.
Laura, I've been looking over the place. Third of your fence is down. Barn roof is in need of repair before the rains come. Stock looks as though Doc Stone hasn't taken a look at it all summer. The neglect around here is shameful.
Well, you must know it takes money to replace fences and re-roof barns. I have a ranch payment to meet in 2 weeks.
Let me help. If you don't get this place straightened out, Laura, you're not going to be in any shape to face the fall roundup or the winter.
I don't want charity.
Now, look, Laura. It isn't charity. It's just a loan. A business matter entirely.
I conduct my business matters with Mr. Weems at the bank.
Laura, when was the last time you inspected this place? You know, a ranch doesn't run itself. You gotta watch it, look after it all the time.
Well, you seem to forget that I have a house to look after and a child to take care of. How much do you think a woman can do by herself?
I know. I'll get you another foreman.
Adam, you just don't understand, do you?
What's the matter, Mommy? Mommy? I thought you liked Adam. You know, Sally's mother says she wouldn't be the least bit surprised if he doesn't marry you.
Well, Sally's mother is obviously being a bit premature. Adam's interest in me seems to be largely business.
But if we need the fence fixed and the roof fixed, and you like him and he likes you, why won't you let him help?
Dear Peggy. Well, sometimes people just get a little bit mixed up.
I hope Banker Weems had a good breakfast this morning. And no arguments with his wife. Them bankers can stare down a rattlesnake if they ask for a loan.
Well, I'm going to do my best to charm him. And if he agrees to extend my credit, you boys can start cutting the new fence post right away.
I'll watch out for Peggy the rest of the day. Maybe take her horse back if she wants.
Pardon me. I'm looking for a Mrs. Frank Dayton.
I'm Mrs. Dayton. This is Dave Wilkins, one of my hands.
Howdy.
Howdy. Excuse me, ma'am.
I'm Ward Bannister, Mrs. Dayton. I was a friend of your late husband.
Oh? What is it you want?
Well, some months ago, Frank gave me an envelope for safekeeping. I didn't hear about his death till about a week ago. Or I'd have sent it much sooner.
I see.
It's a $10,000 insurance policy on Frank's life.
Well, I can hardly believe it. I had no idea. Well, it was very thoughtful of you to ride out all this way to bring it to me.
Well, as it happens, I didn't come out here just for this. I'm riding on into Carson City. You don't happen to be riding into town, do you, ma'am?
Yes, I am. And this will make the ride much more enjoyable.
Well, I'd like to ride along with you if you don't mind. Well, the insurance agent in San Francisco told me that he needs an affidavit and several questions have got to be answered. And... Well, I can explain these questions to your lawyer if you like. And...
I would appreciate that very much.
It'd be my pleasure.
right, Captain.
Bannister, you've been so helpful, I hardly know where to begin to thank you.
Don't mention it. It's my pleasure.
What are your plans in Carson City?
Oh, nothing special. I just thought I'd try to catch on in some ranch in the area.
You hardly have the look of a ranch hand.
Oh, now, these hands have done an awful lot more than deal 3-card Monte, Mrs. D.
Well, about the only thing ranching does for hands is grow a crop of calluses.
Well, these didn't grow anything else until I was more than 20.
Well, would you like to come to work for me?
I'd sure like the chance.
All right. Let's try it. But I don't think it would be very practical to wrestle down a calf in those clothes.
You know, I agree with you.
I still have some supplies to order. While I do that, you can order some work clothes.
Fine. I'll walk you over to the store. I have to send a wire to a friend of mine in Carson City telling him to stay on.
Well, I'll tell you what you do. You get yourself a short little stick and you put it in your left hand. Then you hold out your right hand and you say, "Shake hands, traveler." And then you take that stick and you give him a smart rap right behind the right hoof. And you'd be surprised how fast dumb old traveler's gonna turn into young, smart traveler.
Really?
Try it.
Thanks, Adam.
Hi, Peg.
Hi.
Come in.
Hey.
Hello, Adam. How nice of you to call.
Who's the new man I saw out at the bunkhouse?
His name is Ward Bannister. He was a friend of Frank's in San Francisco.
Oh, friend of Frank's, huh?
Yes. Frank did have some friends.
What's he doing here?
Oh, he came to give me a $10,000 life insurance policy that Frank had left with him. You'll probably be interested to know that I've already ordered the new fencing and the new roofing, and I've hired a new foreman.
What kind of experiences has Mr. Bannister had?
Well, he has done a lot of work with cattle.
Does that qualify him as a foreman?
Dave Wilkins is the new foreman. Mr. Bannister is the new hired hand. Now, if either Dave or I are dissatisfied with his work, at the end of the first week, he rides out again. Any more questions?
No.
Good. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have some mending to do. Or maybe you'd rather stay and watch. I may have been doing that wrong all this time, too.
The reason I came over was, well, if you could possibly be ready, I would take you and Peggy to church and on a picnic tomorrow.
Of course we can be ready. If you think you can refrain from criticizing the sermon.
I'll do my very best.
Good.
Sounds like a she-wolf. Many wolves around here?
Oh, there's one denned up there in the hills with some pups.
Who's this Adam fella?
One of the Cartwrights. Mrs. is kind of sweet on him. Kid's crazy about him. Well, except for being made foreman, old Lady Luck is sure going to sour on me today.
And you better deal me in. She's been sweet as honey to me. One of you fellas lend me some rifle ammunition?
Well, there's a whole box of it inside. Helps, why?
Well, I thought I'd take a crack at that wolf in the morning.
Hey, that'd sure be a good way to get rid of the Sunday morning do-nothings. Would you mind if we went with you?
Oh, sure. Fine.
Oh, Adam, you hardly paid any attention to Reverend Holmes' sermon.
Well, just because I spent half the time looking at you doesn't mean I don't know what the sermon was all about.
The picnic hamper is in the spring house. It won't take Peggy and me more than a few minutes to get changed. And what are you all grinning about?
A puppy!
For you.
For me? Oh, thank you, Mr. Bannister.
What are you going to call him, Peggy?
I'll call him Prince. I've always wanted a puppy called Prince.
Adam, this is Ward Bannister, Adam Cartwright.
How do you do?
How do you do, Miss Cartwright?
Laura, you know that's a wolf cub.
Ward here, he kept complaining all last night how the mother kept him awake. So this morning we went out to get her.
Wasn't easy getting that little critter out either.
There in a van, as frisky as a kitten.
Well, that was a fool thing to do.
Oh, well, why was it a fool thing to do, Adam?
Well, Laura, the puppet's fun now, but when it grows up, it'll be what it is, a wolf. You're going to be gone for a few hours. I suggest that you take the cub back and put him back where you found him.
Any way you want it, Miss Cartwright.
I don't want him taken back. I want him to stay here. Please, Adam. He's so little and helpless.
Peggy. He's got to go back sooner or later. It'd be better if you do it now before you really get to like him.
But I like him now, and I'm going to keep him.
Peggy.
I'll go talk to Peggy, ma'am. I don't want to cause any trouble.
Yeah.
Laura, you're not going to let her keep the pup. It'll grow up to be a dangerous animal.
I know, Adam. I know. I don't know how to run a ranch. I don't know who to fire. I don't know who to hire. The fences are falling down and the roof's leaking, and the stock is unattended. And now I can't even make the right decision about whether my child should have a pet or not. Well, Adam, if I'm so hopeless, why do you bother? Why do you even bother?
Two and a half % is a very fair return, Mr. Tate. You'll find that though money is a hard master, it's a willing servant. You must make your capital work for you, that's it.
Well, thank you very much for your advice, Mr. Weems. Oh, this is Ward Bannister, my new hand.
How do you do, Mr.
Weems.
Bannister?
Everything all right, Mrs. Dayton?
Yes, including a nice little lecture on the value of money. Now, I still have some things to do. Have you finished your errands?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, would you mind driving me? I may as well do these things while we're in town.
Not at all. Where to first?
Bannister?
Yes. Bless my soul, it is. How are you, Ward?
Fine, fine. I'd like you to meet Mrs. Dayton. She's my employer.
How do you do?
Pleasure, Mrs. Dayton. Ward, what are you up to now?
I'm a ranch hand.
And a very good one.
Ward was a very good timber cruiser for me some years ago, Mrs. Dayton. The problem was to keep him tied down in one place. Well, I must hurry along. Nice to see you, Ward. And a pleasure to meet you, Mrs. Dayton. As a matter of fact, why can't we have lunch at the hotel? I hate dining alone.
Can't feel I'm not particularly dressed for a restaurant.
Well, possibly you can convince him. I'll be pushing along to San Francisco in a day or two, and it may be another 5 years before we meet.
You don't have to worry, Ward. The people in the Virginia City Hotel are quite used to men in trail clothes.
All right, fine, Miss Canby.
Half an hour, then?
Fine.
He seems like a pleasant man.
I suppose the least I could do is get a shave. I'll meet you back here in a half hour, then.
I'll meet you at the hotel.
At the hotel.
Good. I was hoping you'd think to stop by. Where's the girl?
Shopping? I'm getting a shave.
She wasn't suspicious when you told her that you were a friend of her husband's.
From what I gathered from the ranch hands, he didn't talk too much about his trips to San Francisco.
I can understand why. There was a lot more pleasure than business. Who was she talking to at the bank?
The president. Seemed to me to be a careful old codger.
That's probably who she'll be checking with. I'm rather glad I was careful to pick something he'd approve.
And what would that be?
The San Francisco Monterey Railroad.
San Francisco Monterey? I never heard of
it. Neither had anyone else until 2 months ago. It's Jay Banion's promotion. For old time's sake and a cut of the proceeds, he let me in on it.
Think old Weems will go for this?
Oh, I'm sure of it. Jay's been clever about this one. Right-of-way surveys, negotiations for land. Banker Weems has probably read all about it in the financial news. But we've got to be quick.
What's the next step?
Just follow my lead. Here's to our pigeon, who's about ready to be plucked.
Just put the things in the back, son.
I just want to say one thing, Laura.
What?
I'm sorry. I hadn't realized what a pleasure it was calling on you, knowing that I was welcome.
Well, the running D's always welcome calls from neighbors.
That's not exactly what I meant. Would you have lunch with me today? I've been an idiot, and I realize it.
I hadn't guessed the Cartwright men would confess to a thing like that.
Well, it takes time. But it sinks in.
I already have a luncheon engagement today, Adam. I'm sorry. I really am. But I don't have any plans for the evening.
Good. I'll see you tonight.
Those were the good old days, all right. We were a little younger in those days, I guess. At least I was. You haven't aged. Do you mind, Mrs. Dayton?
No, not at all.
Ward, will you have a cigar?
No, thanks.
Ward, now, you occasionally showed a knack for making money in the past. Did you ever hang on to any of it?
Just long enough to get me to the card table, Mr. Canfield.
Too bad.
I agree. Well, why do you ask?
Well, I'm involved in a most unusual enterprise in San Francisco. The San Francisco Monterey Railroad. The shares are $100 apiece, which is a sum, of course, but the value should well double itself within a very few months.
Well, if Mrs. Dayton will advance me 3 months' salary, I might just be able to handle 1 share.
Don't treat it lightly, my friend. This is a most unusual opportunity.
Did you say the stock would double its value in a few months?
Well, I should say there's very little chance of it doing otherwise with the important people behind it. Why do you ask?
Mr. Canfield, I might be interested in an investment.
Good. A couple of shares will give you the satisfaction of having been part of an important contribution to the West. Now then, Ward...
No, I would be interested in more than a couple of shares. Could I get as many as 80?
But that would be $8,000, my dear young lady.
Yes, I know.
I assume you have a financial advisor.
A financial advisor? Well, I suppose Mr. Weems at the bank could help me.
Well, then, why don't you just glance through this, Mrs. Dayton? And then, if you're still interested, we'll call on Mr. Weems.
All right. Peggy, maybe we should let Prince go. Well, he doesn't seem to be very happy.
But he shouldn't have been spanked for killing those chickens, Mother. He'll get over it.
I suppose he shouldn't have been. After all, it's the nature of a wolf to kill chickens, isn't it?
But he will get over it. I know he will.
Well, let's hope so. Now, you go get ready for bed. I'll be in a few minutes.
Yes, Mother.
Good evening.
Good evening, ma'am.
I had just this moment decided to go and see if you're in the bunkhouse.
Oh, have you got a chore you'd like me to tend to, maybe?
No, your friend, Mr. Canfield. Have his ventures always been successful?
His ventures have been very successful. Mr. Canfield's a very clever man.
He seems to be.
Can't make up your mind whether or not to invest, right?
Well, $8,000 is a considerable sum of money.
Wish I had it. Mr. Canfield's given me several opportunities, but I just never can handle them.
It sounds like wonderful investment.
You don't have too much time to make up your mind, do you? Remember, Mr. Canfield's got to leave sometime tomorrow. Well, good night, ma'am.
Ward, I called Dave Wilkins in to compliment him on the wonderful job he's been doing, and, Well, he said it was your doing.
Well, that was mighty nice of him.
You do like the life here, don't you?
Well, yes, I like it here very much.
Oh, Dave told me another thing. He doesn't really like the responsibility of being the foreman. He would stay on, though, as a hand. Well, now, if you would be interested in taking over his job...
Well, I don't think I could do that, no.
Oh, yes, you could. You're just being modest. I have been told by experts that I need a man to run this ranch. Well, maybe that could be you. We might work out some sort of a share arrangement. Now, you think about it, Ward.
Ma'am.
Yes?
You really want me to stay on here, huh?
Yes.
I don't know how to say this. I'm not too much at giving people advice.
Well, that's a refreshing change.
I've been thinking it's a good thing to invest in your own property. And that way you can see it working for you.
You mean the $8,000 I might invest with Mr. Canfield?
Well, Dave and the boys and I were talking in the bunkhouse, and we figured that, well, the running D can handle 3 times the herd you have. You got 1,000 acres of timber up north that hasn't even seen an axe. Now, if you invest your money in cattle and equipment for lumbering, you...
That sounds wonderful. But if I invest the money with Mr. Canfield, I can double it in hardly any time at all. Then think of all the things we can do for the ranch.
That's another thing I want to talk to you about.
Oh, it's so nice to have someone around who treats me as an adult instead of picking on me all the time. I'm so glad you came along, Ward.
Come on.
Who is it?
Just somebody who carried your packages this afternoon?
Hello.
I'm sorry I'm late.
Well, that's all right. I was reading. I hadn't even noticed the time. There's some coffee on the back of the stove. You want some?
Mm-hmm. It will, I think, help keep me alert and minding my manners.
I found a nice spot for the picnic Sunday. Mountain glade, waterfall. I think only the Indians know where it is.
That sounds like fun.
Think Peggy'd like to come along?
I hope so. Oh, you were right about that wolf cub, Adam. It is becoming a problem. It would be nice to keep her mind off it.
Now, let's see now. How does my tab stand with this cribbage tournament?
I believe you owe me $745,000.
Yeah, you know, and I have a feeling that I'm going to even it up tonight. In one fell swoop.
I'm sorry, Adam. You probably could, but I'm afraid I couldn't keep my mind on the game. You know that luncheon I had today? Well, I met a man named James Canfield. He's offered me a very attractive investment opportunity.
Oh, what kind?
The San Francisco-Monterey Railroad.
Canfield. Local man?
Oh, no, he's a friend of Ward Bannister's. He just happened to be in town from San Francisco.
How much are you intending to invest?
$8,000. Oh, he's promised to double it in a few months. It's hard to resist, isn't it?
What do you know about Mr. Canfield?
I told you he's a friend of Ward Bannister's.
Look, Laura, Bannister's a stranger that rode into this town just a couple of months ago.
He is a very hard-working man and a nice one.
Maybe he is, but that isn't enough reason to put a lot of money into an investment on the word of a friend of his that just happened to be passing through town.
I've discussed this thoroughly with Mr. Weems. He is very impressed.
Well, Mr. Weems is a very capable small-town banker. But I doubt very seriously if he knows too much about high finance, or Bannister's Mr. Canfield, for that matter.
Mr. Weems has sent a telegram to the president of the railroad asking him if Mr. Canfield represented him. He won't let me make a move until he gets a confirming wire.
And Mr. Canfield has to leave town soon,
Yes. Tomorrow, as a matter of fact. Why?
Let's play some cribbage, huh?
Can I help?
I doubt it. I kind of got myself in a messy situation with Laura. She's investing in this railroad. Big one. I don't know, the mood she's in, I don't seem to be able to get very far in discussing it with her.
You think it's a bad investment?
Depends on who the other investors are, how much stock has been sold, if they have any freight orders. She hasn't even bothered to check into these things.
Can't you?
Well, I intend to. I thought I'd wire our broker in Frisco tomorrow morning and let him check these things out. But the trouble is, if we think it's a poor investment and I persuade her to pull out of it and it turns out to be a good investment, well, I'm going to be as welcome at the running D as an outbreak of cholera.
Is it important to you to be welcome at the running D?
Well, it is now more than it was a few weeks ago, yeah. Al, you get any answer to that telegram we sent off this morning?
No answer yet, Adam.
I'll be over at the hotel having lunch. When it comes in, get it over to me right away, will you?
Sure will. You know, it's a funny thing. Mr. Weems, the banker, got a telegram from San Francisco today about that fella Canfield. Said he was empowered to act for the railway. For a stranger, he sure is popular.
Yeah, sure is.
He won't be here for long, though. Mr. Weems tells me he's taking the stage back to San Francisco today.
Thanks, Al.
What are you doing here? I want to talk to you. You're not supposed to be seen with me again till after I've gotten the money.
That's what I want to talk to you about. Mrs. Dayton came into town this morning. Did she give you a check to invest?
Oh, she certainly did. We plucked our little pigeon for $8,000.
Jim, will you do me a favor and forget all about it? I don't want to take her for any money.
What kind of nonsense is that? If every pigeon were as easy as this one has been, I'd be a millionaire today. I'll be at that bank in Carson City when the doors open tomorrow morning, and you can have your $4,000.
Don't cash that check, Jim.
You're gone on the girl.
Don't cash the check.
Aren't you forgetting that this is my little deal, Ward? When I picked you up, you couldn't buy your way into a penny ante game.
Jim, will you give me the check? I'll hold on to it for a while, and then I'll say you sent it to me because you found out the railroad was in trouble or something. Anything. But you'll get your share, I promise you.
How? You've never seen $1,000 in one lump in your life, let alone this much. Now, run along, will you? I want to get some rest.
Canfield! Canfield!
Here it is, Adam. Just a minute to come in.
Thanks. In San Francisco Monterey Railroad, Netherlands on exchange. Investigation shows Canfield Ailey's Combs in his car. Confidence man. Present whereabouts unknown. Regards.
Any answer, Adam?
What time the next stage for San Francisco leaves?
Well, not for about half an hour.
Was Canfield already checked out?
Well, there's only one way to find out.
I'm sure you feel better now that you've let Prince go, don't you?
I guess so, Mother. Can I see Traveler for a while?
Well, just for a little while. Then when you come in, I'll read you a story. Ward.
I've been waiting for you, Laura.
Well, when Dave told me that you'd been gone most of the day, I thought maybe you'd changed your mind about staying on here.
I did change my mind, but not about that.
What do you mean? Well, this is the check I gave Mr. Canfield this morning.
I saw Canfield after you agreed to make the deal with him. And, well, we had a long talk. And, he finally admitted that there was too much risk in that sort of investment. More risk than I want you to take. There's something more I want to talk to you about, Laura.
What is it, Ward?
I found something here I've been looking for years. Something I never thought would be possible for me again.
Well, I think that's wonderful. I'm very happy for you.
Marry me, Laura. Please marry me.
Marry you?
In no time at all, we can have the running D in real fine shape.
Ward, I don't understand you. I don't know what you're talking about.
You don't know what I'm talking about. Don't you remember what you said last night?
I wasn't talking about getting married.
What was it? You said that this ranch needed a man and that I could be him. What did you mean by that?
That I admired you, that you might run the ranch for me.
Run the ranch?
But that's all. That's all that I meant.
That's all? The times we spent together, all those weeks, the talks we had about the ranch, what we were going to do with it, was all just meant for nothing?
No, we were going to do it on shares for you.
Shares? Shares? No, it was more than that, Lori. It was much more than that. I had to get carried away like a punk kid in his first poker game.
Ward and Canfield were partners in a scheme to rob you of the money with that phony railroad stock.
I even risked my neck to get you that money back. Well, that's what comes of dreaming.
Let's go, Ward.
Ward, I'm sorry.
Yeah. So am I.
I've got to go away, Peggy. I'm sorry about that little wolf pup.
We let him go this afternoon. That's where we've been. I guess you can never change animals from what they're meant to be.
That sometimes happens with people, too, Peggy. Be a good girl now, huh?
Mama, where's Ward going?
I don't know, dear.
Will he ever come back?
I don't think so.
What about Adam? He's coming back, isn't he?
I hope so, Peggy. I hope so.
There's his tracks. Must be a real big one.
Looks like he's heading up for the rocks above the old lumber road.
Hey, you see what I see?
If he gets in that brush, we've lost him for sure. Look, I'll circle around and try to cut him off. You keep on his trail.
Right.
You're bleeding.
Papa, my eyes.
That's all right.
Papa, my eyes, I can't see. Papa, I can't see anything. Can't see, Papa, my eyes.
Easy. It was you. You shot my little girl. You blinded her. It's all right, baby.
I can't see, Papa. I can't.
Joe. Now, son, you've got to stop blaming yourself. It was an accident, pure and simple. The bullet ricocheted.
Pa, I am to blame. It was my bullet that blinded her.
Could have happened to anybody.
Yeah, but it happened to me.
Now, don't you worry, sweetheart. The doctor says there's a very good chance you'll see again.
You mean that, Papa? You're not lying to me?
He's not lying to you, sis. You're going to be just fine, but it's going to take a while.
Oh, Papa, how are we going to manage? You can't afford to put me into a hospital.
We're staying with the Cartwrights. They're going to foot all the bills.
Can they afford it?
From what I've seen of the size of their spread, they can afford almost anything. And they owe it to you. It's the least they can do for what they've taken away from you.
Now, Joseph, will you settle down? You're acting as if it were your first day out instead of hers.
I'm sorry, Pop. It's that I've been trying to see her ever since the accident. I just don't understand why her father won't let me go near her.
Well, I think his concern is natural.
I just want to tell her how sorry I am.
I think you'll have your chance right now.
Pop, I'm scared.
Don't be afraid. We'll hold you. Come on. There it is. That's fine. Fine. Oh, good morning. Good morning. One more. Well, good morning, good morning. And how's our lovely young patient this morning?
Who's that?
I'm Ben Cartwright.
She's feeling quite chipper. This is the first day without the bandages.
Feels good to get out of that room for a change.
I'm sure it does.
Papa, could I maybe get a little fresh air?
Sure.
I was hoping she might like something like that.
Who's that?
It's little Joe, Tessa. Look, I thought you might like a little ride. I've got the carriage outside. I got the horse all hitched.
What's wrong, Cartwright? You trying to ease out from under a guilty conscience?
Lon, that's no way to talk. You shouldn't turn the back of your hand to a generous offer. If little Joe would like to take her for a ride, I think that would be nice. If Tessa would enjoy it.
I'd enjoy anything that would take me out into the fresh air for a while, Papa.
So we better get started then. There's an awful lot of the Ponderosa to see.
Well, Tessa,
I'll see you later, Papa.
enjoy yourself.
Oh. We've been riding for quite a while. You want to get out and stretch your legs a bit?
Oh, I'd like that.
There's a log over here. Would you like to sit down?
Yes, I would.
This way. Just turn around. It's right behind you.
Yes, I found it.
One of my favorite spots. Used to come here and fish when I was a kid.
It feels very pretty. Tell me what it looks like.
There's a lot of trees around. Some pretty big trees. And there's a slope over there with some cattle on it. Not very many of them. And there's a little stream running by. There's a lot of birds and ducks. There's a blue jay in this tree right here.
It sounds beautiful.
Tessa, I'm so sorry. If I could give you my eyes, I would.
It wasn't your fault. It was an accident.
It was my fault that it happened.
Don't blame yourself. Let's talk about something else. I don't want to talk about it anymore. Tell me about yourself. Have you lived here all your life?
Yeah, I was born here.
I envy you. I've been on the move all my life. My pa doesn't seem to stay in one spot very long.
What does your father do?
Oh, a little bit of everything. You might say that Pa's been looking for that pot of gold at the end of the rainbow.
Did he ever find it?
Not yet. But I suppose he will. He doesn't give up too easily. Oh, I'm starting to get a little cold.
Yeah, we better be getting back then. I don't want to keep you out too long the first day.
Okay.
Tessa, I'll cut that for you.
Oh, thank you.
You're getting too fast for me, little Joe. Doesn't a father have any prerogative in taking care of his daughter?
It's my pleasure.
Fine. Now, there's something that I've been wanting to say to all of you. You Cartwrights have been awfully good to us. I don't know what would have happened to us if you hadn't have taken us in.
That was the least we could do. Tessa, the meat's on the left and vegetables are on the right.
And if I've been short-tempered and mean these past few days, why, it isn't because of what happened to Tessa there. Well, we've had some plans, and those plans are pretty well gone now.
What plans?
A job out in California. Paid well, too, but I had to be there by a certain time, and the time's passed now.
You sure it's too late now?
Quite sure. That really isn't very important. What is important is the young man that was waiting for Tessa. Met him out in Missouri about a year ago. He was on his way to California. He was going to make his fortune. Said he'd send for Tessa, and he did a couple of months ago.
Papa...
Oh, it's true. The engagement is off, Tessa. It seems he doesn't want to marry a blind woman. You comfortable?
Pa? Was all that about down there?
What do you mean?
I mean, all those lies you were telling at dinner, all that talk about a job for you and a fiancé for me, I don't understand. Why were you lying like that?
Well, now, were they really such terrible lies? Maybe one day there will be a job for me and a fiancé for you. Who knows?
Papa, you're not trying to make the Cartwrights feel even more guilty, are you? To make them look after us even better than they do now?
Guilty? Tessa, I'm doing this for you and Lon. Ever since you were little, I promised you that one day we'd have something. Well, that day has come. We've found the end of the rainbow, and it has a name. Cartwright.
Papa, they're good, decent people. You can't take advantage of them that way.
No one's trying to take advantage of them. Aren't you forgetting that it was little Joe's bullet that blinded you? Whatever the Cartwrights are doing for us, they owe us.
Papa, little Joe's a nice boy. I can't see him, but I can feel what he's going through. And it was an accident.
Is little Joe beginning to mean something to you?
No. I just don't feel the need to hurt him anymore.
No one wants to hurt him. And after all, we may be doing him some good. After all, knowing a wonderful girl like you shouldn't be a hardship on any man. Now, you try to get some rest. I'll look in on you after a bit.
Want to go for a walk, or you want to sit around here?
I think I'd like to sit for a while.
Okay. care when you sit down. It's a rocker.
Oh, thank you. I don't know what I'd do without my eyes.
Oh. I like being your eyes, Tessa. Tessa, the fellow in California, the one you were engaged to. I suppose you loved him very much.
Why do you ask?
I don't know. You just strike me as the kind of girl who'd have to love a man very much to marry him.
Yes, I'm that kind of girl.
Have you been able to forget him at all?
Isn't that the best way?
I guess so. Tessa, suppose a man came along someday and asked you to marry him. How would you feel about it?
Well, that would depend on why he wanted to marry me, Joe. Because of my blindness, he might mistake love for pity, and... Well, I just don't think that would be a very sound basis for marriage.
No, I guess not.
Woman has pride. She wants a man to love her for herself alone, not because he feels sorry for her.
You talk as though you don't believe a man could love you just for yourself alone.
I don't know. Would you take me in now? I'm getting kind of tired.
If that's what you want. So funny.
I was just reading Dickens. You must read this.
I wanted to talk to you.
You've got to read this book, Joe.
Hey, Pa, it's kind of important.
Oh, I'm sorry, Joe. So involved.
Yeah. Well, what would you say if I told you I was going to ask Tessa to marry me?
Well, she's a fine girl, Joseph. I think that any man would be proud to call her his wife.
Good.
What about Tessa? What does she feel?
I think she cares for me a lot. Maybe as much as I care for her.
Well, of course, there's quite a difference between caring for a person and loving him.
Oh, Pa, don't you see? It's a perfect answer for all of her problems. Now, who can take better care of her for the rest of her life than a husband?
Joe, you make me feel real good. You have a sense of responsibility. That's good. But I don't want to make a martyr of yourself because of an unfortunate...
Pa, there is no martyrdom involved. It would be a good marriage.
An unfortunate accident, Joe.
Her blindness is my problem.
Now, Joe, you have a life of your own to live.
Now, Pa, I want you to get used to the idea because I'm going to ask Tessa to marry me. Hi, Mr. Caldwell.
Hello, Joe.
Thought I'd come in a little early, see if Tessa want to go for a ride.
Well, she's already gone riding with her brother. Got me worried. They should have been back hours ago.
Which trail they take?
Well, they went off the North Ridge there.
I'll find you.
Take the reins. The brush is too thick here.
You're all right. Just keep coming.
honey, I'm sorry. I didn't mean for you to get hurt, but I can't watch you every minute. Okay, mount up.
No.
Tessa, we gotta get back to the ranch now. You can't walk all that way.
No, Lon, I'm scared. I don't want to.
Oh, come on, mount up. What do you expect me to be, your nursemaid the rest of your life? I'm your brother, not your husband.
You ever hurt Tessa again, and I'll kill you. Tessa, you all right?
Oh, yes, John, all right.
You're the one blinded her. Now you take care of her.
You know, one thing your brother said made sense. You need a husband to take care of you the way she'd be taken care of.
Who'd want to marry a blind girl?
I would if you'd have me. Tessa, I would if you'd have me.
Mr. Cartwright?
Oh, yes, Tessa, here I am.
Could I speak to you for a moment, Mr. Cartwright?
Yes, of course. Why don't you sit down over here? There's the chair right behind you now. Would you like some coffee?
No, thank you. Mr. Cartwright,
Yes, dear.
little Joe asked me to marry him today. Did he tell you?
Yes, he did tell me. He also told me that you refused to give him an answer. Why?
Oh, Mr. Cartwright, if I could just look into little Joe's eyes right this minute, if I could see that there was love there and not just pity and guilt, I'd say yes so fast it would make your head spin.
He means so much?
Oh, yes. But I can't see what's in his eyes. That's why I've come to you. You're his father, and you know him better than anyone else. Oh, Mr. Cartwright, please tell me what to do.
Well, that's very difficult. I don't think anyone can tell you what to do. But I think that if two people love each other, I mean, truly, deeply love each other, well, then nothing else matters, does it? Not even blindness. Because there's so many other things that they can share together.
But how can I be sure? Where can I find the answer?
In your heart, Tessa. In your heart.
If I should say yes, if we should get married, you won't hate me. You won't think I'm marrying little Joe just because I need him.
No, Tessa. I don't think you're that kind of girl. I don't think you're the kind of girl who'd marry anyone for selfish reasons.
Papa?
Over here.
Papa, where's little Joe?
Oh, they all had to go into town on business. They'll be right back. Say, you better hurry up and get some breakfast before it gets cold.
I'll be right there.
You all right? It should have helped you.
Papa, I can see you. Yes, I can see you.
Are you sure?
Yes. Papa, I can see everything. I can see the blue chair, and I can see the brown and green books and the guns and the fireplace and the Indian rug and the fruit on the boat. Papa, I can see again.
Wonderful.
Little Joe. Papa, this changes everything. I've got to tell little Joe.
Tessa.
Papa, I'm whole again. I'm the way he'd want me to be. Oh, Papa, I can't wait till he gets back.
Tessa, are you sure this is the right way?
Oh, Papa, he's got to know as soon as possible. Don't you see, he won't feel guilty anymore, and I'll be able to see what's in his eyes.
Well, maybe it isn't all that easy.
What are you getting at?
Well, suppose that little Joe doesn't love you the way that you think that he ought. Suppose there is a small element of pity and guilt in the way he feels about you. Now, I'm not saying that there isn't some love, and I'm not saying that this love doesn't grow every day that you two are together, but has it grown strong enough? Maybe if you blurt out the truth now, why, this whole thing will be over. It'll be finished.
Papa, he loves me. And the fact that I can see again will only make him love me more.
Of course. But why take unnecessary chances? Wait until after you're married and then tell him, and that way, no harm will come to anyone.
Pa's right. What's so terrible about pretending you're blind a little longer?
Of course, and women have been setting their caps for men down through the ages, and the intelligent thing to do is to win the man first and then tell him the truth.
Papa, it's because I love little Joe that I owe him the truth. Don't you understand? I can see again. I don't need to marry little Joe anymore unless he really loves me.
And what about Lon and me? Don't you care what happens to us one little bit?
Papa, you and Lon.
Do you realize what's in store for us if we have to leave here now? No money, no jobs, nothing.
Papa.
Tessa, I'm 53 years old. All my life, I've been waiting for something good to happen to me. All my life, I've been tending to you and to Lon. Don't take this chance away from me. Don't take it away from all of us.
Papa, what are you asking me to do?
He's asking you not to turn on your own flesh and blood.
I don't want to turn against you. Just tell me what you want me to do.
I want you to play blind until after you're married to little Joe. Do it for me. Do it for Lon. You owe it to us.
I can't do that.
Tessie.
Papa, I can't.
It's our last
I can't
chance
do that.
to get anything.
Oh, another thing. First thing tomorrow morning, we go up to the north section, see how many camps have been dropped.
Tessa, what's the matter? You look upset. Tessa, what's wrong?
Nothing's happened, little Joe. I guess I'm just tired of being blind. Take me upstairs, Papa.
Tessa? Tessa, come on. What's the matter? You've been avoiding me the past few days.
I don't know. Nothing's the matter.
Come on now, there is something the matter. You're just not the same girl anymore.
I wish I knew what kind of girl I really am.
I know what kind of girl you are. I asked you a question a week ago, and I'm still waiting for an answer.
Joe, please.
Tessa, I want to marry you.
Joe, please.
Tessa, I want to marry you. I want to marry you now, and I want to spend the rest of my life with you.
Are you sure that's what you really want?
Yes, I'm sure. It's what I want more than anything else in the world. Tessa, please say yes.
All right. I'll marry you.
Pa? Hey, Pa?
He must be in the barn. I'll go get him. You be all right?
Fine.
Pa, there you are. I've been looking all over for you. Where's Tessa? I just left her here.
She just went upstairs, Joe. Joseph, it's wonderful.
She already told you about us getting married. Pa, I finally convinced her. Pa, I'm gonna fill her life with so much love that her blindness won't matter. I'll be her eyes for the rest of her life. Well, come on. Aren't you gonna congratulate me?
Of course. Of course.
You don't look too happy about it.
She's a remarkable girl, Joseph.
Of course she is. She couldn't be any more right for me, Pa.
Joe, are you sure? Are you absolutely sure about it?
I know my own mind.
Of course you do. I don't suppose you've set the date yet.
No, the sooner the better. Just give us enough time to invite some friends and neighbors.
Don't you think it might be an idea? After all, you don't know each other that well. Perhaps if you waited a bit.
We know each other well enough.
Yes, but what do you think of the idea of maybe we should take her to San Francisco and have a doctor examine her eyes?
I'm not kidding myself about her. She's blind, and I made her that way.
I know, but they're always developing new techniques.
I don't want to hurt her any more than I have already. I love her the way she is. Come on, Pa, don't worry. I know what I'm doing.
Joseph, you're my son, and I just want the best for you. The very best.
And stop worrying. I think I got the best. I know I got the best, Pa. Hey, better go upstairs and see her.
Hey, Paul. Little Joe find you? Little Joe find you?
Yes, he found me.
He told you about the wedding, huh?
Yes.
Paul, you don't seem very happy about it. You ain't worried just because Tessa's blind, are you?
Oh, she isn't blind.
She what?
I said she isn't blind.
What are you talking about?
I'll tell you what I'm talking about. A little while ago, when little Joe was looking for me, I went to the back way. And there she was in front of that mirror in the living room, primping. And then she ran up those stairs like the wind. She can see better than you or me.
Oh, that don't even make sense.
I know it doesn't.
What? You mean she's just been playing a game with us?
I don't know. I just don't know.
You gonna tell little Joe?
Hoss, I don't know what to do. I just don't know what to do. I'll tell you something. I like that girl. I think she
likes little Joe enough. Maybe she even loves little Joe enough to tell him the truth about herself before this goes much further.
What if she don't?
We're going to have to give it that chance.
Morning, Tessa.
Good morning. The flowers, they smell beautiful.
Yeah, the place is really getting gussied up. It's gonna look beautiful for the wedding.
What are you doing?
Oh, I'm just straightening things up a little bit.
Joe, I have some good news for you.
Oh, yeah? What's that?
I think my eyesight is beginning to come back to me.
What?
It's just been in the last couple of days. But I can see a little bit of light. Now, but I had to be sure before I said anything to you.
Tessa, can you see me?
No, not clearly, but I know I will.
Oh, thank God. Oh, thank God you're going to see again.
Isn't that wonderful?
Oh, God.
Now you won't have to feel guilty anymore. I mean, now you don't have to marry me if you don't want to.
What do you mean?
This is a perfect chance for you to back out.
Don't say that, Tessa. Please don't say that. I asked you to marry me, and I meant it.
Are you sure, Joe? Are you very sure?
Of course I'm sure. Of course I am.
Yes?
May a future father-in-law come in?
Certainly.
Isn't she a dream, Mr. Cartwright?
Well, she certainly is. You've done a beautiful job, Mrs. Partridge. Of course, you had a beautiful subject to work with.
Oh.
Mrs. Partridge, may I have a moment alone with Tessa?
Why, sure.
Thank you. Well, I know it's a father's prerogative to have a few moments with his daughter at a time like this, but is it also a father-in-law's?
Of course.
Well, actually, I came to wish you everything well. To tell you what a wonderful girl I think you really are.
That's very kind of you, Mr. Cartwright. Do you think I deserve all that?
Yes, I'm sure. You know, all through the years, I prayed that when one of my sons was ready to marry, he'd choose a young woman who was worthy, who loved him deeply, and who knew that he loved her, and who'd always have his best interests at heart.
And you think I'm that kind of girl?
I know you are. Because you see, I think you love and respect little Joe enough so that you'd always do what's best for him. What's right for him. What's right for both of you. No matter what the cost. Bless you, Tessa.
Mr. Cartwright?
Yes.
Nothing. It was nothing.
tears at a time like this?
It's just my nerves, Papa. It's just my nerves.
Well, now, they're all waiting for you. You ready?
Yes, I'm ready. I'll get my bouquet, Papa.
Dearly beloved, we're gathered here together in the sight of God and the presence of this company to join this man and this woman in holy wedlock. Joseph Cartwright, you take this woman, Tessa Caldwell, for your lawful wedded wife, for better or worse, for richer or poorer, in sickness and in health, to love, honor, and cherish her for as long as you both shall live.
I do.
Tessa Caldwell, do you take this man, Joseph Cartwright, for your lawful wedded husband, for better or worse, for richer or poorer, in sickness and in health, to love, honor, and obey him for as long as you both shall live?
I can't, Papa. I
It's
just
all right.
can't.
It's all right. I guess I've known all along I was asking you to do the wrong thing.
I can't.
Tessa, you can see.
Joe, go away.
Tessa, look at me. You can see.
Yes, I've been able to for days.
Well, then why didn't you tell me?
My papa was afraid that you'd back out of the marriage if you knew. That's why he made up that story about the man who was waiting for me in California. Oh, don't you see, Joe? We've been using you, taking advantage of your guilt.
You told me yesterday you were getting your sight back. Why didn't you tell me the whole truth then? Why did you wait till the ceremony?
I guess because I didn't want to disappoint Papa. Mainly because I didn't want to face the truth about us.
And what is the truth?
That your feeling of love for me was really guilt. And that my feeling of love for you was really fear of being alone in the darkness.
Well, then you don't love me, not really.
Not enough for marriage, Joe. Neither of us do.
Tessa, I have been so afraid to say anything. I didn't want to hurt you anymore.
I know. That's why I had the courage to do what I did.
You know, my pa was right about you. You're a very remarkable girl.
And you Cartwrights are a remarkable family. I kind of hate to face the truth.
Me too. Well, you see, better get on and tell the guests they can all go home.
Okay.
Be all right.
Yes.
Tessa, I wrote a letter to a friend of mine in San Francisco. Now, if you were to deliver this to him personally, I think he might be able to find a job for your father and your brother.
You mean you're willing to help us after what we tried to do to you?
Oh, Tessa, your heart wasn't in it. Anyway, I told you, you're just not that kind of girl.
Well, you're on your way.
Yep.
You know, I want to tell you something. You are the prettiest girl that I ever almost married.
And you're the handsomest man.
Well, thank you. Good luck.
Thank you.
Well, Mr. Cartwright, thank you for your many kindnesses, even though it didn't turn out to be a pot of gold.
Oh, Papa. Any pots of gold from now on will be made by our own hands.
That's a depressing thing to learn at my age, but we'll try. Goodbye, Ben.
Marcus, I'm glad everything turned out well.
Thank you.
Bye, Tessa.
Bye,
Yeah.
Come on.
ভালোবাসার পরশ পেয়ে অস্থির আমি গেছি হয়ে ভালোবাসার পরশ পেয়ে অস্থির আমি গেছি হয়ে সারা অঙ্গ জুড়ে আমার এসেছে ফাগুন চল নৌকা ডুবি খেলবো খেলা আজ দুজনাই চল নৌকা ডুবি খেলবো খেলা আজ দুজনাই বাড়ির কাছে ভরা নদী এসেছে জোয়ার ভাটা শেষ হলে শুকনো বালুর চর বাড়ির কাছে ভরা নদী এসেছে জোয়ার ভাটা শেষ হলে শুকনো বালুর চর ঢেউয়ের তালে তুলতে চলে আমার নাই চর চল নৌকা ডুবি খেলবো খেলা আজ দুজনাই চল নৌকা ডুবি খেলবো খেলা আজ দুজনাই ফাগুন মাসের আগুন জ্বলা ভরা বসন্ত ঘুমিয়ে থাকা মনটা আমার বড়ই অশান্ত ফাগুন বসন্ত ঘুমিয়ে থাকা মনটা আমার বড়ই অশান্ত প্রেমের গাঙে সাঁতার কাটলে হাতটা আমার ধর চল নৌকা ডুবি খেলবো খেলা আজ দুজনাই চল নৌকা ডুবি খেলবো খেলা আজ দুজনাই ভালোবাসার পুরুষ পেয়ে অস্থির আমি গেছি হয়ে ভালোবাসার পুরুষ পেয়ে অস্থির আমি গেছি হয়ে সারা অঙ্গ জুড়ে আমার এসেছে ফাগুন চল নৌকা ডুবি খেলবো খেলা আজ দুজনাই চল নৌকা ডুবি খেলবো খেলা আজ দুজনাই